Я думаю, что команды скучают по лану, безусловно, потому что все-таки у нас работает эта игра, и это такая творческая, и людям, которые постоянно сидят дома, которые мы играем то на турнирах, турниры очень обесцениваются в плане, ну, когда ты в одном месте там выигрываешь, побеждаешь, проигрываешь где-то, и все становится рутиной. Так что ланы — это двигатель, это зрители, это эмоции. И я думаю, что и людям будет интереснее смотреть игры именно вживую, потому что там больше раскрываются личности игроков, больше каких-то событий происходит, реально какой-то другой вайб будет. Ну и нам, конечно же, хочется также путешествовать, увидеть новые города. Мы очень скучаем по этому. Мы недавно тоже разговаривали, столько всяких турниров было, и как будто это уже все в прошлой жизни было. Хочется вернуться в эту, как бы сказать, колею, где мы путешествуем и видим разные города и разных людей. Я думаю, что где-то такой момент присутствует в онлайн, когда матчей много, сложно где-то собираться, но это нужно работать над собой, так как все в равных условиях. Но зрители, конечно, они заставляют тебя. То есть игра становится более, как бы, придается важности игре. То есть ты видишь соперника, видишь зрителей, и ты хочешь победить еще больше. Поэтому игра становится более где-то нервознее, где-то наоборот кто-то раскрывается. Ну, это тоже какой-то способ своей адаптации, и я думаю, что у нас неплохой опыт на лане, и мы в разных ситуациях были, когда много людей, когда вообще там закрытые сцены. Поэтому, думаю, все будет окей. Напрягает ли играть в онлайне или при зрителях? Я думаю, что нужно сказать спасибо режиссерам, которые, скорее всего, не покажут зрителям, как ты там, может, там ковыряешься в носу. Я тоже, кстати, об этом думал. Ну, я думаю, безусловно, играть перед зрителями намного лучше, интереснее, и это что-то новое. Вот. Живые эмоции — это то вообще, ради чего мы играем. Без этого было бы очень тяжело. А для кого? Наверное, может быть, и для кто-то и не раскрывается, там, даже играя дома. Может, ему как бы тяжело постоянно находиться в одном месте. Так что все здесь индивидуально. Я думаю, что Ancient очень хорошая карта. И вот это обновление, добавление карт — это очень важный процесс в нашей игре. То есть он заставляет команды как бы шевелить мозгами и, ну, какой-то коллективный разум свой развивать, придумывая что-то новое. Так как когда какую-то карту играют очень долго, команды просто ну, как бы берут раунды у других команд, где-то неосознанно, не думая, откуда это, как к этому пришло. А когда новая карта приходится, постоянно будет удивление. И для зрителей это будет хорошо, потому что какие-то вещи, которые они эм, что-то в новинку будет. А так, думаю, вроде бы многие команды играют этот Ancient. Мы играли один раз на официалке его, и также над ним работали. И карта мне и команде нравится. Возможно, какие-то микроизменения сделают ее еще лучше. Так что я только за изменения, и если бы они проходили там раз в год хотя бы, было бы очень круто. Могут ли новички обыграть ну, хорошую команду профессиональную на новой карте? Я думаю, что это будет все равно сделать тяжело, потому что у профессиональной команды более, как бы, лучший подход к самому разбору карты, к каким-то перемещениям и так далее. Там, я думаю, что будет тяжело для новичков. Ну, хотя в жизни все может быть. И так что я думаю, что шансы всегда есть, но единственное, они может быть очень маленькие.
Я даже не думаю, но я знаю, что игроки скучают по ланам, и что это, наверное, самый большой минус вот этой ковид-эры и пандемии, потому что я уверен, что для большинства игроков самый кайф был именно летать куда-то, где-то находиться на стадионе перед толпой, да, перед болельщиками, общаться с болельщиками, выигрывать игры, пока там шум везде, да, и так далее. Это самое лучшее ощущение, что есть, и я уверен, что как только будут ланы, так как-то оживиться более все игроки, потому что сейчас поголовно все уже dead inside, и все уже не хотят играть, нет мотивации, и всем надоело играть в этом онлайне, поэтому я надеюсь, все закончится, это онлайн, наверное, закончится как можно быстрее, и мы как можно быстрее уже поедем на ланы. Не то чтобы онлайн-игра и лан-игра много чем отличается, просто я считаю, что на лан-игре люди, которые заряжаются какими-то какой-то энергией с помощью общения, либо там самой атмосферы, да, они немного страдают из-за того, что они дома постоянно находятся в рутинном состоянии, а игрокам, которые привыкли находиться в рутинном состоянии дома и менее социальные, я бы сказал, то им, наверное, более проще сидеть дома и играть. Но так, в игровом плане не сильно, я думаю, отличается просто мотивация и как-то моральная составляющая больше. Я бы получал больше удовольствия от игры, и я думаю, из-за этого бы истекло лучшее состояние твоего тела и лучшее состояние твоего мышления и так далее игры. И для меня это так, и поэтому я считаю, что на лане, скорее всего, я бы чувствовал себя лучше. Я думаю, тут ответ очевиден. Как бы, камера, что камера. Но все равно ты сидишь же дома, и как бы, конечно, на лане играть будет намного стрессовее, по идее. По идее, так должно быть. Но это зависит от человека, и если человек в себе уверен, и ему и на лане, и дома не будет никакой проблемы играть. Поэтому, ну так, да, наверное, самый простой ответ — это то, что с камерой проще, когда нет людей вокруг. Про Ancient я хочу сказать, что, во-первых, это довольно хорошая карта, интересная карта, которая, как я считаю, очень обновила какую-то игровую деятельность игроков. То есть то, что появилась новая карта, которую вообще никто не знал, она раньше не было, и команды начали ее тренировать. Это очень круто, потому что постоянные идеи, постоянные новые вещи, они тебе помогают развиваться как игроку и получать удовольствие из-за того, что это что-то новое, что-то другое. А по поводу того, что поможет ли эта карта каким-то командам там выигрывать какие-то определенные матчи, я считаю, что да. Скорее всего, какая-то команда будет думать, что у них сильный Ancient и что у другой команды слабее Ancient, но в конце концов может оказаться так, что оказывается, это у них слабый Ancient, а у другой команды сильный Ancient. Поэтому это палка о двух концах, ты никогда не знаешь из-за того, что команда... Тут единственная команда, которая реально Ancient играли на этом турнире, это... То есть не на этом турнире, а перед этим турниром, это Gambit и Na'Vi. То есть люди и команды реально знают, как они играют на этой карте, но другие команды, они не показывали то, что они умеют на Ancient, и пикать Ancient было бы, наверное, странно, и может быть неправильно, но может быть и правильно. И в зависимости от внутренней уверенности твоей на тренировках ты уже от этого отталкиваешься. Но может оказаться так, что ты ее проиграешь.
Legendary teams, major players, and electrifying tactical action are back in CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. From June 27th till July 4th, 10 teams will clash in the thrilling showdown for the prize pool of $100,000 and slots at the PGL Major Stockholm 2021. Who will win more rounds? Who will show the most furious play? And who will claim the major prize? Find out at the CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. And don't forget to reload.
Welcome back to the StarLadder CIS RMR. It's time to get into our second game of the day here on the secondary stream. It's going to be Team Spirit taking on Virtus.Pro. Probably the best game on paper that we've had here on the stream, Alex. It's two big names in the group, probably the two favorite teams coming into Group B. We've had some slow starts for some of the better teams, and Virtus.Pro definitely a team that will be quite disappointed about their initial showing because they're down there at the bottom of the group, the only team yet to get points.
Yeah, a lot of these teams, or I think all of them, actually have a game in hand over Virtus.Pro right now, but it's still not where VP need to be, while Team Spirit are topping the group right now. They always seem to show up in these RMR events. We've said it so many times, and that trend looks set to continue here at the StarLadder RMR. They've got 2 wins out of 2 so far, but VP have been a bit of a bogey team for Spirit as of late. They've lost against them in the last 3 best-of-3s they've played, so even if VP aren't in the best form, that could absolutely influence how this game plays out.
And definitely, because Team Spirit haven't looked that convincing, right? They had a slow start yesterday, had to come back and win the last 2 maps. Against the Tropic in their initial series, had to fight really hard to get that series win. And, you know, coming up against VP, definitely going to be the most difficult on paper matchup. We'll have to see what kind of Virtus.Pro turns up today. Because Virtus.Pro looked terrible in the last showing, to be honest, Hawkeye. You know, in comparison to what level they should be at, they just were not performing anywhere near what we expect Virtus.Pro to be. And so they've got to really hope that changes. We had Jim not really getting involved at all. Yukindar was getting some entries, but for the most part, VP were just a little flat on the T side. They were going out in rounds before it even really got started. So we got to see more fire in them today going out against Team Spirit, because this team are not going to let you get away with that. They're going to push you. They're going to get aggressive. It's a clash of styles, really, when you think about it, because Team Spirit on the CT side, very aggressive, and Virtus probably very, very passive on their T side. So it'll be interesting to see how they clash it out.
Now, we've got that VP lineup to show you. As you pointed out, Jame was playing pretty well in their opening game. I think Yukindar was also good enough about what we'd expect from him. It was some of the other players that maybe were a little below what you would want to see from them output-wise, but all in all, a very well-rounded roster. Kicker can do a lot in these mid-round scenarios when the round unravels, so that's certainly someone to watch out for, because we know that Spirit like to play loose. They like to play brawly. It could come down to a lot of those scenarios. You take a look at the Spirit lineup. Mir has been a stone-cold killer for them so far in this event, and he is always a fun player to watch.
He definitely is. I think he's one of the players that went under the radar for such a long time, but I think people really do now realize what he's capable of doing and what impact he brings to the team. I think we're seeing a lot of that in the last series. He was pulling them out of a lot of holes in what was a relatively close game. And he was getting a lot of those aggressive plays working on the CT side, so definitely looking forward to seeing him. And I remember back to that overpass map that we did get to see Team Spirit on Hawk, and you were mentioning his performance, and Magix was right in there with him and had another step-up round just after you'd started speaking about Mir. So those two players definitely continuing to try and battle it out for the top spot. But here on the head-to-heads, you can see, just as you were talking about earlier on, some of the previous matchups between the two sides.
Yeah, you see these previous matchups. We have even had some Ancient in the mix when these teams have played previously. Virtus.Pro were able to win it in the overtime. This was at IEM Summer, but a week before that, you can see they played at the Epic League RMR event too. So they've played a couple of times very recently, and Virtus.Pro have got a really consistent map win in there for them. Each of those 3 best-of-3s that they've won against Spirit in the last 3 months have had them pick Inferno and win it. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on here. Do Spirit still want to go ahead and play that Inferno when they've struggled against VP on it? Or do we see a switch up in those maps here today because Spirit have had a tough time against them as of late?
I'm interested to see that map, Fido, and it will be coming up very shortly. But, you know, we're getting into the series. We can kind of focus in on a few individuals, I think, before we hop into that. And for me, I'm going to talk about Magix, because I think he is just a player that has hit another level, but also has more to give, I think. I think he's just such a young player, you don't really know what his skill ceiling is. So from over on Overpass to close out their last series with Spirit, he was having so many multi-kill rounds, so many moments. Magix, for me, it just feels like there's so much more he can deliver other than what he's doing right now, which definitely gives me a lot of hope for this Spirit team, especially when you look at some of the individuals they've got across the board. It's the depth we usually talk about, and it's Magix for me who in the last series was standing out for me. So if he can continue into today, and you can have a few other players around him like Dexter, the Spirit team have a lot of individual skill, and I feel like maybe with the way VP are playing, they may get the upset over them today, because I think, you know, VP definitely didn't inspire me in that first map, and I think coming into these CIS RMRs, Spirit always look good. They always look even better in these RMRs than anything else.
Yeah, I just think based on recent form, we have to say Spirit are looking pretty decent here, just because they could just absolutely smash them individually. But I think we should go ahead and get into that map veto, because I really think these maps are going to play a big part in this matchup. So we get the nuke ban coming in straight away from the VP side. That's a map they haven't played at all in the last 3 months, so no surprise there. And then we should see Spirit get rid of the Vertigo. Indeed they do. So the 2 permabans out of there instantly. Now the map pick for VP is the question. Do they just go for that Inferno? And yeah, they go straight for it. They've beat them the last 3 times they've played them on it. It's a map that VP oftentimes like to pick. I think recently they've turned around their fortunes on this map. This was even the map they were able to beat 100 ping gods on. So I think VP are very happy with that pick. And it is a weak map for Spirit, which is why I think this matchup does suit VP quite well. Now for Spirit, they've got a couple of options here. Dust 2 is often a map they like to go towards. You could maybe see them go ahead and go for something like an overpass if they were really feeling it, but I think the Dust 2 is probably the best pick for them. They have been killing it on this map as of late. You can see that very high win percentage. So even though normally we're not a fan of teams picking Dust 2, I think here it just suits the Spirit style so well, and they've been so good on it recently that it's a map pick that makes sense. And now the big question is who bans the Ancient? And it is Spirit who go ahead and get rid of it. I figured one of these teams would probably ban it because they haven't played it too often. It's Spirit who go ahead and get rid of it. And that means we're between Overpass and Mirage as the decider. I think they could go either way with this one on the VP side. I feel like in theory, Mirage should be a decent map for this VP team. But at the same time, do you want to play Team Spirit on Mirage, where they can play it loose, where they can pug it out? I'm not sure that's the map you really want to go towards. I think maybe Overpass is going to be a bit better for them stylistically, and that's what they decide to go with at the end there. So I don't think it's a massive surprise seeing this veto come through. This is the standard veto I would expect between these teams when we aren't having any Ancient shenanigans in there, which did come through as the 3rd map decider last time these teams played. But I don't blame VP for going for the Overpass and for Spirit for banning the Ancient. I think this is a pretty solid veto, and I think either team could do well here, honestly.
It's the veto that will give us the best matchup on paper, right? If both teams come in today playing very well, we should be getting a 3-mapper, and that Overpass should deliver as an incredibly close final map. Both teams are comfortable on it. It's not, per se, their home ground, but it's certainly a map they're both willing to go into that 3rd map. So if we get the perfect matchup with both teams playing well coming into the first 2, we should end up in the 3rd. But you take a look at over on the Virtus.Pro side of things, and they're taking a lot of wins here right now.
And Spirit are taking a lot of losses, specifically against Virtus.Pro and
It's kind of
Inferno,
ridiculous.
as we pointed out. They're generally quite close, but I think that's just the nature of Inferno. With how it plays out nowadays, you generally tend to get double digits for both sides. So I think VP will be fairly happy with this. You're going to go ahead and get to see on VP's T side specifically. I like the way Buster on Banana can do a lot for this team. I think they can take a lot of ground, and especially Akindar on the CT side on Banana too, he can do a lot there. So I think this VP side, Inferno suits them because they like to go for these aggressive pushes at time on CT as a team, and that's something you can do well on this map.
I'm looking forward to seeing whether or not Team Spirit have made any improvements on Inferno. It's been some time, and that game against K23 did not give me a whole lot of hope. It felt like we seen Team Spirit just losing every one of the jewels. That was the biggest issue for them, right? Was the slow start and not winning those opening jewels. And if you're not doing that, you've got to deal with the Yakindar show, right? He's going to be in there having a great time. If you're not on point in those opening fights, he certainly will take those opportunities. Dust 2 will be our 2nd map in the series, and you can can see, look how close this one is. Definitely not. Team Spirit have just taken wins against everybody. It's their comfort ground. Team Spirit have somehow turned a map we traditionally talk about as a map that many teams cannot figure out, right? You can't really make Dust 2 your home ground, but Team Spirit have done a very good job at proving us all wrong.
Yeah, it's crazy consistency from them. It's so impressive to do this on Dust 2. There are very few teams that have ever had this sort of win rate on this map lately. I remember Big back in middle of 2020 were a team who were incredible on it, but eventually it feels like teams just start to figure out what your tendencies are, because even if you come through with some new things, normally your opponents are going to get a chance to start to see what you're doing, and because it's quite formulaic at times, because Dust 2 has been played so much, normally they're going to get the chance to counter you, but it's actually some really impressive wins from Spirit. I mean, 16-8 against Na'Vi? Who beats Na'Vi 16-8 on Dust 2, man? That's a really good result.
It comes down to Virtus.Pro and how they're playing on Inferno. You know, I don't think you can win Dust 2 right now, especially with how weak they've looked recently on that map. I think there's no way they beat Team Spirit on Dust 2 today, in my opinion. But we said that a lot in this tournament so far, and we've been proven wrong a few times, but I think that's probably one of the safer bets. If we need it, Overpass will be coming up as the third map. You can see Virtus.Pro with a loss against 100 ping gods on it, a win over NIP 16-4. I mean, it's quite inconsistent here for them, but when you look at some of the better teams, they usually do fall here at Overpass, and then that loss against 100 ping gods doesn't really fill me with confidence, especially how that game played out. It wasn't overtime, but it really didn't feel that inspiring for VP. Definitely feels like they should have been able to take that.
Yeah, in the games I've seen, VP just constantly like to try and go to that B site on Overpass, and if that starts not working for them, they can actually really start to run short on ideas and start to struggle to come up with solutions. So that Overpass as a decider is maybe a bit scary for VP. And I think just with that recent form we're seeing from Spirit, not just as a whole, but on some of these maps even, you have to say they're probably favorites here. But there's always that question of mentally, where are you at when you've lost against VP 3 times in a row? Can that be something that can be overturned just by being in good form? You never know. It could be something more deep-rooted in this matchup.
Yeah, you never really know. A lot of people kind of overlook the mental aspect of this, but we all have to remember they are human beings in the server, and especially sports players and esports players, you can't get in your own head. They're very superstitious a lot of the time and do believe in curses and the fact that the team is beating them over and over again. You just feel like you can't get over that hurdle. But I think with VP, they just have to come in and just forget about your first performance into today. You know, come into this, try and reset, try and use that advantage of knowing, okay, we usually do beat Team Spirit, right? We usually find a way to get out of this series alive, and you just got to try and realize that, okay, if we don't win this, we're kind of struggling. They can fix their problems by taking a win against Spirit today. You know, losing their opening game, you can afford that upset if you get the win against the top team in the group, because right now Virtus.Pro, they're looking to try and keep their spot in the top 5, and you've got these teams like Force and Tropic trying to hunt down those spots. Akuma are going out of there. I mean, we got to see them over on the mainstream. They're out of their spot, no problem, and Na'Vi just destroying them earlier today, and no one's really ever been challenged by Akuma here in the StarLadder RMR. So I think that 5th spot's pretty much done. I think we're going to see either Entropic or Force move into that one very shortly. And so when you look at the overall RMR rankings, the next team up from Akuma right now is going to be VP, and I wouldn't be that comfortable if I were them, especially if you're taking losses to the likes of 100 ping gods, and each RMR that we get closer and closer to the major is worth more points. So for VP, you can't really afford to drop the ball here. If you want to be at the World Championship, you got to go and get yourself a spot here.
And that is another significant point, actually, is that with 2 wins early, Spirit, if they got a loss here, it wouldn't break them. It wouldn't be the end of the world for them. I think they'd still be favored to probably come out top 2 in the group, even if they took a loss here. Whereas for Virtus.Pro, if you lose this and you have 2 losses early, as well as some tough games coming up, I think they still have to play Entropic and K23, who have shown that they can absolutely beat you on their day. That's scary for Virtus.Pro. They could be in a position where they genuinely might be fighting for their life and fighting for any RMR points. So I think the pressure is more on Virtus.Pro here, but we'll see if that shows in the server. It's Virtus.Pro starting on the T side of Inferno with 3 sets of nades at the ready.
A lot of utility into this. I'm interested to see what they have come up with, what idea they have for us in this pistol round. Going to be walking into Banana. 3 players on defense for Team Spirit. It's going to be Magic's running down. Chopper's got the opening. BHG secured it, and Kicker quick to reply. So 4v4 at the beginning of round 1. Can slow down a little bit, but Kicker severed off from his teammates. That smoke into bottom Banana has kept Kicker alone, but good utility to force back mirror. They've got enough of it, VP.
Yeah, they definitely do. Always important to make sure one of these players with the nades doesn't get picked off early, because then only the smoke would be dropped. You'd be missing out on the flash, which could limit your options later in the round as to what you want to do. But it also means there's only the one man with armor remaining in Yakindar, and he's currently just spotting for any aggression. Dexter is going to come at him as well. Yakindar ready for the fight, and now Spirit are the ones who are really lacking information.
Great recovery in the round for VP, but Chopper still on the B-bomb site. He's not alone here. He's got his teammate in behind him at the back of Nubox, but do Virtus.Pro even want to do this? They're going to throw some utility into B, but the bomb looks like it's going back over towards A, and that's the right call right now. Only one player over that. Some die young. In towards long brackets, trying to sell out the fake, trying to sell out the rotation, but some die young. Here's these footsteps. He knows it's going to be the A play. They're not looking for him, and the bomb gets by, but just about gets around that corner. And now it's a 3 versus 2. No kills have come in here for Virtus.Pro. And Chopper on the flank gets in behind Sanji, and it's all onto Jim. The 1v3 is needed. He's usually the carry, but no miracle this time. It's Chopper on a 4K, and Team Spirit get the pistol.
That's one of those scenarios where the slow playstyle across the map comes back to cost VP. Once they get into that 4-on-3, I think if they push a site together, they've got a really high likelihood of winning that round. But you've also got to give props to Spirit. I think they've done their homework here. I think they're aware that they need to always be keeping players on both sides of the map. You can never know exactly where this VP lineup are going until there's 10 seconds left on the clock. So they stick with that one player towards A. SDY delivers an important kill, and the rest of Spirit get themselves into a good position. So a nice start for the CTs, and they should have a decent opportunity at making it a 2-0 lead. Early nades on Banana, but there is obviously the force buy for VP with that bomb plant.
Mir let them walk right into his crosshair. Yeah, it's one, and luckily it is the SMGs taking the rest of the kills. It's some Young and Dexter getting them on the MP9, so extra money to play with now. Going into the next round. And VP's force buy has not really amounted to much. And most likely will continue to crumble. And it's Jame. If there is a player to do anything in this round, you would look to be Jame on the board with the Galil. The rifle. Under a minute now on play. And VP haven't really got anywhere. Still at top mid. I like that Team Spirit aren't giving away any chances. They're not throwing away anything. Realizing even if we give a slight fight to them, it does open up a hole that might just be picked apart. Dexter gets info. Still at top middle of VP. So he does some damage. Until he starts to clear out close corners. And Dexter still trying to fight it. The edge of this Molotov, and Sanji will go down to the MP9, leaving just JM again. Often the player left in these scenarios late into the round. He's really hoping for something. And we'll start to walk now into top middle. Dexter gets aggressive. Brilliant round from him. A lot of money picked up on the SMG. And that's the most important aspect of that, right? You could have had Mir shut down everybody with his M4, but it's great that they get most of the kills from the MP9s. That's a lot of money now available to the CT side, and they don't really lose anybody. So right now it's looking fantastic.
Don't mind the attempt from VP to go for something slightly faster on that round, but like you said, Spirit just ahead of them, ready for it. Position themselves really well into top mid to lock that down early. You're really relying on getting an early kill there, relying on a Spirit player to fully just go for the fight against you. I think Spirit managed it really well. They didn't give away the fights too easily. They didn't give VP an easy way into the round. And there shouldn't be many ways into this round for VP, but that's one of them. Sanji's Deagle headshot gets them an early frag. he can be very good with this gun. He has one of the highest headshot percentages out there. He's got them off to a good start.
He usually has to be so good at headshots because the weapons he's given. Most of the time, you either get a headshot or you're dead. Now on 39 HP, he's got the deagle in hand, and the rest of his teammates now starting to head in, though, to the B-bomb site. Good stack up here from Magix up on the boost. Totally taking the first kill, and Magix making it work, clearing him out with a Galil. And the bomb is down as well. And Sanji on the other side of the map, he has found one kill. But much more than that, unlikely to come through. And Team Spirit, the last time they played Inferno against K23, they had this unbelievably weak Inferno B site hold. I remember they were trying this new box boost time and time again. None of the boosts, none of the gimmicks, none of the setups are working. And right now, Chopper and Magix have actually been really good in towards the B site, so that's a really good positive sign. A positive change from the last game coming out of Team Spirit. If they can continue to do that, then I'll get very excited about it.
Yeah, they just look much more together, much more compact there in that round compared to what we were used to seeing from them. Once the nades come in on the VP side, though, that's when the big question starts to become through for them. Got to be able to deal with the nades coming at you. And this is what will be happening in this round because VP have the full buy with full utility. Early Molly's going into Banana, but that's just to stop Spirit from pushing. They're stacked into top mid. We might see something faster from VP here. This is more like it.
Yeah, nice change up from VP, trying to up the pace and go into the A site. Semoga Young has got the first kill, and Buster and Jane taking them back for Virtus.Pro. Utility's down on the A site, and that archway smoke's just popped there, so it's going to buy a lot of time for VP. Locks out any retake attempted. We often talk about how difficult it can be to retake that A site when you have such deep smokes in from the T side. So a quick pounce onto the site and 2 kills is enough to win the round here for Virtus.Pro. So safe call from Team Spirit as they exit the bomb site. And they'll take their weapons over to Ruins and just save those into the next one. Virtus.Pro, I like that. That's a nice change in pace. And honestly, we don't see that too often from VP.
Yeah, I think that's a really nice time to call for this too. Just so early in the half, because Spirit have probably come into this game doing their homework, obviously knowing what VP normally like to do on Inferno because they've played them so many times. So you just throw in a fast round early, a pretty basic one with some good nades, and that could start to make Spirit second guess themselves. They could start to consider, okay, maybe VP are going to switch things up now on Inferno. Maybe we are going to see some more faster rounds, and it could just completely throw off Spirit's game plan coming into this matchup. So I think it's a really smart time to call for that faster play. Obviously well executed on top of that, but Spirit still have money for another buy into this round. So more work for VP to do.
Yeah, it's going to be the story for both of these teams throughout this series. I don't think any round is going to be easy. No round is going to be free, but apart from some of the eco rounds. Cool smoke in from CT spot, actually. Buster does his best to try and body block it, but it is going to do its job in terms of forcing the T's back into bottom banana. And they'll have to wait out that smoke. And Virtus.Pro, they don't mind waiting. They'll wait out the smoke, no problem. They're getting ready to go in towards this B-bomb site. And Spirit are doing a good job at hanging onto their utility. You see, Chopper's not using his incendiary until he sees some info, gets some information that VP are thinking about this hit. And as soon as he gets that, he'll throw down the Molotov. Smoke at a CT has a gap in it because of that Molotov as well.
Got another one, though, so it will be fully smoked off. Chopper and Magix need to show us some ability to play together here on the hole. Chopper ready to go through the smoke, but Magix has already been dealt with. Chopper's relying on the flashbang, but it just blinded him. So he's going to wait for the smoke to fade. They still have a spot in here. He's sneaking up on the site. Quick fire double from Chopper, but he's finally traded. He's given his team a chance on the retake, though.
Yekindar with the 2K. Chopper with a disgusting 2 of his own. So we are in this 3v3 equilibrium once again. But Team Spirit, it's on them to make the retake happen. VPs sit back. They get comfortable. They've got a crossfire in Pool and Banana. And Buster is blinded, but Sanji doing the work. A double kill from him. And Dexter has to realize that Buster was in Pool there. The sound was made. Dexter knows he's in there, but he's not taking the fight. Instead, he's going to go finally. Gets the shot. And I'll get back into the site. Dexter took his time, was ready to go. And just as the limiting time forces him to take the fight, he just gets on the bomb. And Dexter will get the 4-1 scoreline.
Not an easy spot for Dexter to be in either. Spirit all come in through CT for the retake, which is a risk. You can just get mowed down in this choke point. This was the double from Chopper, though. So well taken to put them in that position in the first place. And then Dexter has to be the last man of the prong on that CT retake, trading his teammates. There's no room for error there for him with the AWP after his teammates start getting mowed down, and he's so composed to win that 1v2 for his team. Great round from Dexter, great round from Chopper. Spirit showing us what their individuals can do early. And this is looking like it could be a really fun matchup, Dinko. I'm already loving it. And we're only 5 rounds in.
Dexter, the man that won the last round for Team Spirit, missing the shot, but this is the setup they like to do a lot. You have Dexter who takes that initial shot. Yesterday he was missing a lot of easy ones, but today he's looking poised. Magix was in beside him. Once the AWP brings out, you've got the rifle on the close angle. You're not really ready for that. And now VP look to try and pressure long. Mir getting the information and then falling back alive. Virtus.Pro gonna have to smoke off Archway. Jiggle peeking in towards Library and Yekindar. He's often confident to take fights against AWPers, and this time doesn't work out for Yekindar, but it's the trade kill from Jame that has delivered it. But Chopper in the smoke. He didn't spot the shadow go through that. So ships in the night, Jame has crossed by him, and he starts to go in towards Speedway. Is Magix ready for this? I don't think it's been called to him that this is a possibility. Jame can walk in behind him. Chopper, he's got the kill on Sanji, but look at this. Jame executes him from behind, and the B site now is open, but the bomb is not with them. The nightmare situation, you have the map control, but you just don't have the bomb. And now they've got to run it back. And even after a beautiful play from Jame, they're in the worst case scenario.
They can get this. All of Spirit have rotated. Wait, are they going to get there in time? They're not.
Oh, they're going to take time. Yeah, it's just taking too much time to think about it. And Team Spirit make the rotation over to the B bomb site because they're both there. And the bomb is just lying there in top middle. No one even knows. Oh, that's annoying for VP, obviously, from our perspective, even more so. But for VP, that round from Jim, just really a nice round, nice play from him. It's just losing that bomb in top mid, it just cost them. There was only 18 seconds left when they get back to top middle, and they don't know it's completely empty. They think they've got to clear some corners, but you just got to go at that point. You just got to see what's up.
Well, they didn't realize it was clear. They didn't know, so instead they save and try to fight in this round. Real chance now for Spirit to get a great start to their CT side. It's already been a good start for them. If they win this one, they could get an incredible lead early in this game. Bit of damage being done both ways. Magic's the lowest health player on the server, but 2 VP players have also taken some damage. Spirit are making sure they stick around in towards top mid. That will help them realize, with 3 players stacked there, that the A play is unlikely right now. And because of that, I'd expect these B players to be very well prepared for a fast play. And you can already see Magix has a molly in his hand.
That'll deploy as soon as they get info. As soon as the sound cue is made, that'll go down. And by a few more seconds here. They love these orange setups. Chopper up on top of first orange as Magix dropping below it as well. And Buster's going to look up on top. He's away of Magic's position as well, but it doesn't matter. We'll get away with 1 kill, but no follow-up from Magix, and that B site has fallen to pieces. And for VP, this is a much-needed round win. For Team Spirit, it just has to be a safe call now. I think that just is the way of Inferno. If you don't get enough on the initial hold, the retakes are just often so difficult on both bomb sites. It's worthwhile saving your weapons, especially with the money situation for Team Spirit. So it's going to be a second round for Virtus.Pro. good entries coming in from them. Yukindar and Buster. It was great awareness of Buster to know about Magix, realizing the player that tossed the Molotov can't have got up to first orange stack quickly. So heard the footsteps of Magix running back and checks out first oranges. Great clearances from them.
Oh, Near's got a molly. Searching out into the open. Did it well. Yukindar coming back though and getting 2 of his own. So Spirit thought they'd done a bit of damage. They actually received more than they bargained for. But I think that the difficulty there with that molly is, I mean, firstly, VP have another smoke, but secondly, you bounce it off that wall. It just takes a while to land, and by the time it lands, there's already a player running at you from the site. And as you said, some good flashes are all they need.
Also, the end round kills there are very impactful for this round because VP just eliminated 2 rifles. Team Spirit could have had far more utility, could have probably got a full rifle round out across the board, and now they're just down to scraps. Now they've got 2 for mass in play, and they're going to have to scramble to get utility into this. It's not a good round at all for Team Spirit, but they've invested everything on the line, and if VP win this round, they're right back in this first half. This is a very important round for the T side. For Team Spirit, they have to win it. Otherwise, they're about to face what is going to be the huge drought of weapons. Luckily, Mir is confident. Just swings into middle. Yukindar's been taken out of play once again. It is Virtus.Pro who turn their attentions to the B bomb site. This time, the utility will hold them off.
Still throwing some nades of their own. Chopper's been able to get through that CT smoke, so he's realized there's no push just yet. VP continue to play across the map after baiting out so much counter utility early. And the upside for VP here is, despite being down a man, they have a good amount of utility remaining. So if their site take is solid, they could have a good chance, but they're staying spread out with 40 seconds left on the clock. This is going to have to be a very well executed late round play.
Smoking towards CT. Coffins, Molotov clearing out the defense. Will they be able to hold on? Magix was in a very uncomfortable position, and now they know they've just got to clear one spot, and Dexter goes down with just such limited time. Virtus.Pro just about getting that bomb down, clearing out the B defense. It always leaves me with anxiety when a team decides to execute like that, but VP make it work. And now Team Spirit on the extremities of the B site. They don't have any utility left, apart from one flashbang in the hands of Sumdai Young. And so it has to be the save call. There's no other option here for Team Spirit. And it was looking real good for them. If Magix or Dexter just stay alive or get 1 kill or just delay for a few moments longer, that's the round done. But VP, there was one opportunity, one chance, and they took it.
Yeah, just taking their opportunity on the B site. I think we are going to see Spirit start to stack 3 players here for longer in the round in the future if this keeps happening. Dexter, I believe, missed his first shot from that dark position, and it's really important that you get that first kill because otherwise Magix is just so close range that they're going to be able to run him down really quickly. If you don't get that first kill, he's about to have multiple players running at him. And Spirit in that round had 3B for quite a while, but VP just did enough, pressuring top mid with 1 molly, a bit of noise. They made Spirit second guess that B stack, and that helps them get onto that B site much more easily. And now it's only really this rifle of Mir they have to work with. He's just going to go for a 1v1 fight, and he wins it, doing more damage onto James, who peeks up above. Mir down low health, decides to just tuck in and try and be a nuisance.
Oh, and Dexter's going to try and fight out top middle, but Buster and Yukindar are ready for those kills, and it's right back in to VP's territory. Choppers walked through the CT smoke though, and Kicker was not ready for that. But that A site is completely open, and a bomb plant will be secured in just a moment's time. They're taking the time to clear out the extremities, the pit, the Molotov goes in there to clear that out. And Yukindar's still in apartments, even has boiler if they're to come through the apartments itself. And Yukindar is going to hear footsteps. He's missed that chance into middle, and that has allowed Magix up into short. But surely not. at this point for Team Spirit. He's missed all the timings here, Yekindar. That's given them a chance, but once he realizes with those shots coming in, he's still in behind them. That might just be the final play. Semoga Young's got a kill on Buster. They've got to get into the site quickly. If they can kill James, someone can get on the bomb. Yekindar's alone now. They're in the corner. It's not planted for him. He's taking out Semoga Young, and Magic's just sticking the defuse. Full 10 seconds for Yekindar. He gets the Molotov out, but the kill is in, and the defuse stolen away. Team Spirit pull off the retake, and it's just perfect timing at every turn, and Yekindar is just not in the position to deal with that plan.
Wow. Spirit just caused some issues early in the round with a bit of aggression. Play from Mir caused a bit of chaos. Then they get that kill back on Banana, and all of a sudden the round is on. You still think they're going to have a hard time retaking, though, but they find their way in. Yekindar's molly is slightly short of the mark. Spirit somehow find a sick round. Oh no, Magix is in trouble. He's just mollied himself. There are so many mollies coming his way. Oh no, he's backed up into the molly again. The smoke will keep him safe for now, but it's not very comfortable, especially not with that nade landing right on Chopper.
Hit the reset button, Team Spirit. This is the worst start to the round for the B defense you could have possibly asked for. Chopper gets naded to oblivion. Molotov's burning down Magix, even his own Molotov. Oh, just a horrible round overall here for Team Spirit, but it is still recoverable. That B site is incredibly weak right now. Magic has had to fall all the way back into CT spawn, and no one's even that close to rotate for Team Spirit. If VP walk into B right now, one smoke into CT spawn would probably be enough.
Now Spirit have peeked down top mid somewhat. I think they will rotate the second man over. Oh, maybe not. They're sticking with the A stack. Big risk being taken. Magix has a molly, but that won't slow them down for all that long. Jiggle peeking continues. Molly at the ready for Magix. Oh, the bomb's going back A, though. This is a great read from Spirit, or is it? It's still sticking around bottom Banana. 24 seconds, Kickers run into B, and now they will go back to this B site, which is wide open. Gotta be a save call.
Yeah,
I think that was the idea the whole time.
Luckily, Magix is actually in a position to be able to get away here. I know. Oh, wow. Commentator's curse right there, Hawker. It's truly a thing.
Truly.
That's just stupid.
Yeah, that's the whole setup from Magix is, okay, I'll play CT and I'll try and just slow them down and make them think there's more players on B, and then I can just get away and save if I have to, because you can save all those guns and get a good gun round going into the next. But now you take out Magix and they can start hunting.
Mir. Good headshot, holding the trap down, laying down the line here for Team Spirit. VP are not going to go in for it. Jim doesn't want to commit his AWP into the lion's den, so 6-4, Virtus.Pro with another round win. And for Team Spirit, you think when they get that eco round they shouldn't have won, you think that's going to be enough to really get them going here, and they just couldn't do it. They could not find themselves that success. And it is just a bad start into the B defense that cost them, I think. You know, if Chopper stays alive, that doesn't get naded down. Magix gets a little bit more health. I think it's a completely different story, but 6-4 up now as Virtus.Pro down by 2 rounds, but that can easily change if they win this next one.
Still a fairly close game here at the start of Inferno. Slow play early, but it is Team Spirit who will be stacking 4 on A and holding back. They haven't had to use too many nades early on the Spirit side, though, because they haven't been pressured and because Magix is just dry peeking down mid for the early kill.
Oh, they're just trying to bombard their way through the Molotov, and I like this from Virtus.Pro. This is definitely not their usual playstyle. They have more to play, and I think it's good to take a risk like this. And Buster crossing right over CT spawn. A brilliant headshot onto Chopper, and now Dake's still looking for the spam through the coffins. They did have the man advantage, but it wasn't long-lived thanks to Buster. They haven't been able to find any follow-ups here, Team Spirit. Flash is good. It blinds them. Kick-up runs on in. It's another kill for defense here, and that is looking so good now for Virtus.Pro. It's another save call for Team Spirit. They start to run away. Mia gets one on the exit, but in the end, it is 5 for VP. And I like how they turn that around. It's Buster just so aware of that boost possibility.
And it's that B site again for Virtus.Pro that is proving to be very successful for them. Nice fast response after losing that player elsewhere, after losing some of that control. They come back to B, and as I was saying earlier, I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing Spirit go ahead and stack more towards B. This is a round where they actually stack more towards A early, which I think is absolutely fair. I think it can pay off for them to get that early bit of presence and then maybe rotate later in the round. But right now, VP grinding their way back into it, largely on that B side of the map. Spirit still with enough money for a buy, though.
Utility being used into his top banana. But VP will leave one player there. And now start to turn their attentions back over to the A site. And 3-line width. I did say 3, but 1 is just rotated away. Dexter changing positions with Chopper. They're going to send the AWPer over towards the B site, but they might be calling him back pretty soon. Looks like VP are about to get ready for the A play. And Yakindar might just go contact through the smoke. This could be such a deadly play. That's being hurt by Chopper, throws the molly down. Luckily, Yakindar doesn't get away with that kill for Team Spirit. If he did, that could have been the first threat pulled, and the defense could start to unravel. But no kills yet for either side, and with limited time, eventually, they've got to go for it. And Sanji on the spam, right through the floor. It's Sumdai Young that gets taken out of play, and it's Sanji, who is the hero in this round for Virtus.Pro. They're going to get the bomb planted, and Team Spirit, they're going to have to save again. It was such a good start for them. It was a fantastic start from Team Spirit, but it's all starting to go downhill for them. So many close rounds as well. It's just really, really unfortunate.
Really nice from Sanji, as he pointed out. And then James just starts coming in from short. Sanji can push alongside him. Such a smart little play. And yeah, it was a great start for Spirit, but once we've hit the gun rounds, VP have taken over. Trade out from Yakindar. The AWP's gone. It's just Magic's MP9. That is not the weapon you would choose to save out of the two, but it's the one they're going to have to live with. And VP have got a chance to get themselves into the lead. I think for Spirit, at least getting these rounds on the board early gives them a chance to come through on their T side, but it's just been a bit disappointing after that strong start to let it slip like this almost.
Magic's kind of a risky play, and they often don't work. Round down mid with the MP9 and out early. VP with a blistering start and a run up middle. And stakes to the second victim of the VP machine. And Yakindar doesn't stop. He keeps running, and even behind, Buster turns. And just like that, it's one player remaining. But it's Mir who does have the bomb, and he might just get a kill here onto Buster. Low HP, AK out now for Mir. 3 players still alive though for Virtus.Pro, so you should think they recover this. We're trying to get the fights into the 1v1s. Good kill from Sanji, who has been quiet up until the last round, and now he's just an animal. Sanji's been unleashed, and 7-6 now. VP into the lead for the first time in a while. And we get to see whether or not they can keep it, because Team Spirit are coming back into things with a bye.
Bit of a non-starter here once Yakindar gets some of those kills on the aggression. But as you pointed out, we've got ourselves a good buy on the Spirit side. And they finally switch this up. Flashes into Banana early. Chopper and Magix again playing back from the bomb site. This time using some utility early to slow VP down, but it's been the late round B plays that have been the issue, so hopefully they've got that utility later on in the round to help them on the hold. Might be worth Spirit going for an information play at some point. It's been so many late round plays from VP that I think if you push with maybe 40 seconds left, you get that little bit of info, you maybe could stack the right site. VP still remaining undecided. They got Banana control early. Now they put most of their players back towards second mid and start to set up some nades.
Yeah, the utility will start to come in, really creating a beautiful setup for Virtus.Pro, manipulating the map in their favor, and good utility to force Dagster back. Utility's gone in now as well. So Molotov keeping him back and keeping him out of play. And once you're limited a player like Dagster, Team Spirit's defense can definitely start to crumble a little further. He's lost so much crucial control, and Mir luckily getting the first headshot. It's Kicker who has gone down early for Virtus.Pro, but Sanji, he's found. It's Yukindar against the quick trade though. They're trying to really get rid of these close corner box players, and Jim finally gets that chance. Something Young provides. Molotov in, another kill, this time from Buster and Jim, and the bomb can get planted. It's gonna be all onto Magix. Alone in the clutch. The retake of the A site. He's found Yukindar. He's gonna try and force them out of the bomb site. There's definitely going to be difficulty in doing that because it just pushes Jim back into the corner. He's still got that all, but it's Buster over the top with a headshot. Another close round that could have went either way, but it's crucial kills for VP into the late round again that gets him onto the site there.
Again, it's a round that looks like it's hanging in the balance, and then some all-important kills come through at the right time. A flurry of frags from Virtus.Pro, this time onto A. Finding success all over the map now as this game goes on, and while the scoreline looks close, you can really feel the tides turning here on Inferno. It's been all VP here as this half has gone on. Spirit with a bad buy into the last round of the half, but they've got whatever the hell they can. An M4 out for Mir. The rest of the players having to take an assortment of weaker weapons. Whatever happens, Spirit have an okay number of rounds from the half, but it's the way in which VP have just dominated that has made us get a bit concerned for the CTs right now.
I definitely feel bad for Team Spirit because it was a really convincing start to this series, and then so many of the close rounds that have been hanging by a thread have just gone VP's white. I definitely would have wanted, if I was Team Spirit, to have a few more rounds on this defensive half to feel comfortable. 7th here is almost needed, and it's Yukindar through the smoke again. Dagster just been neutralized time and time again on the A site. He hasn't even really been given many opportunities at all to get anything done in the defense, and it won't be a 2v3, so it's not an unwinnable round here for Team Spirit. But Yukindar's still alive at long, and getting it out and fighting the AK with an MP9 and for Mass for the retake, it's going to be difficult here for Team Spirit. There's no denying that. And they've just lost another one. It's Magix alone in the world. No kit on his back. Flash over the top, and one of the worst positions to try and come back in from. It's 9-6 for VP. Look at that streak of rounds. 6 in a row from Virtus.Pro to close out the half. And you gotta feel like Team Spirit should have won a few of those.
And they put all the pressure on themselves into the second half. It started so strong for them. It was looking good for them to get into a position where they could go ahead and maybe cause an upset, maybe steal away this first map, but that has not happened. VP have showed their class. Spirit have to come through with a strong T side.
Let's get a little highlight reel of our first half, and you will start to see Dexter's impact drop off. I feel like they really made it tough for him to really do much in his position. So hopefully on the T side, he can have a bit more involvement, take the game himself, take over for Team Spirit. We jump into the second half. Again, it's heavy utility in the pistol for VP. They did that in the previous. G grenade at the ready for the banana play. But Team Spirit pulling a little bit of a VP here. They're going quite slowly in this Glock round, taking control of the apartments. They'll have two players at bottom banana, not really even contesting it. Really just taking their time, figuring out what is available to them, what options do they have. And VP all the while are playing passive themselves. They don't have any info here. They don't know where Team Spirit are. And they've gone for the gamble stack over towards the B-bomb side. They think the B side is the right call, and it looks like it's going to be Hawker.
It looks like it, although Spirit are still keeping their options open with just under a minute remaining in the round. They're actually coming back to top mid, and that means it's up to James to deliver some early impact. He's going to need at least one kill, probably more from this position to give his team a chance, because they are so far away from A right now. James falling back early, seeing if there's anything available to him, but they're moving up short into the site. And how the hell are VP going to do this? It has to be a full-on retake.
Well, time ticking and VP coming back in. They've got that man advantage. They've got plenty of utility for the retake, but they have to make it work. Chopper on top of the barrel. VP getting close, and Chopper's going to hit the first. It has been decked in. Sundar Young has the perfect position here for VP. He's got one out of it. Somehow it's still Chopper who takes every kill they require, and Jim is gone. VP will lose the pistol, and finally their reign of tyranny will come to an end. It's Team Spirit on the board. It's 7 now locked in.
Oh. It's another good shot from James, but it's not going to make a massive difference. Bit of extra money with that save, Kevlar, but just such a strong setup. Chopper takes all the attention. SDY comes in from behind, but wasn't even needed. Chopper just did a lot of it by himself. Spirit got off to a great start in the first half. Maybe they can do the same on their T side. And with how some of their players were playing early in that first half, if they could re-find that form here on their T side, find some of that individual ability, you never know. If VP are going to start to struggle themselves on these holds, they could maybe start to run away with some rounds, and they're not that far behind right now.
And we talk about this series opening up. If the first match won for VP, Dust 2 is very likely to beat Team Spirit. So Inferno has a lot of pressure on it for Virtus.Pro. And we've already talked about how the pressure is even more on VP just for the result of this game as well, right? They need to win this to feel comfortable in the group. If you lose to Team Spirit, you lose to 100 ping gods, what else is available to them? Because so much they need to do in this group if they lose today, just to try and get themselves one of the top 2 spots. VP need the points. The CIS region is so damn close in the RMRs, and we're only a couple of events away from getting to the major. And for Team Spirit, this round should be theirs. The bomb is now being picked up, but they're really taking their time.
Oh. Ouch. Okay, not as much damage as I thought.
Yeah.
Smoke down from Jay. He's going to try and see if he can do something about this wrap through CT. He'll spot them, but this isn't a fun fight to take with the 5-7. Smoke down. Chopper could beat Yakindar to it, but Yakindar only good for 1. And now it's up to Buster on the hold. He has assistance arriving from Kicker, but it's not quick enough. 10 seconds, 10 seconds. Kicker could deny, but he doesn't get the kill. Oh, that could have been the moment, but now Spirit should be set to take this one. That was it. That was the chance.
Kicker just missing every shot. We have the perfect POV to watch it from. And it's just shot after shot and not enough damage done. It is heartbreaking for Kicker, but Team Spirit can sigh a deep breath of relief because that was definitely way too close for comfort. These Deagles crunching on them. Buster luckily doesn't get away with another, and there's the shots coming in. Dexter just moving a lot around, making it difficult to land the headshot. Had to be the body shots, and it just panic maybe setting in there for Kicker. It didn't work out for him at all, and now we're down to just USPs for VP. Scoreline's about to be tied up.
Nice hit already. If there was any doubt, that should settle it. Never mind. The doubt has been put back onto the server by Sanji and Kicker. They both come through with USP headshots. And all of a sudden, Spirit have to take this round a little more seriously. They should still be all right.
They should be. But you'd never want to lose 2 players early in this kind of scenario. Even if you do get that trade out, you're still down a player. There's no upgraded weapons for VP, but this duel really matters, and Magix luckily comes out on top of it. How many USP kills have we seen so far in this competition? Outside of pistol rounds, it's been too many. And some die young. Oh no, Jim. Oh, it's gonna be perfect for him. USP headshot from behind, and it's one from Jim. Sanji's got the other. It's all on Dexter in a 1v2. He starts to run in towards the A site, and Sanji's in the middle of it. Dexter takes that fight, now has to win the 1v1. Yakindar on the other side. He's found a MAC-10 of all weapons. Dexter hasn't committed to the plant. He's worried about all of these positions now. Bomb tapped. Kindar's below him. It comes down to the right time. He ground the corner. Dexter just about survives the 3K, and he saves the day for Team Spirit. It's 20 HP between Team Spirit losing that round and VP coming out with a win on default pistols. Not a good round for Team Spirit. Not a good look at the start of the second half.
Absolutely terrifying that VP can do that with just USPs. There's a reason why the CIS region is stacked with aimers. That's a round that really proves it when you can do that with just the default pistol, but at least Spirit hold on for the round win. Now they've got to do it against the rifles, though. All tied up here. Kindar not getting aggressive on Banana initially. He'll go for the fight now in the midst of the flame. Could commit even further. In comes the double peek, but oh, his teammate came to help and Buster's been dealt with, as has Yakindar. The aggressive Banana stance goes against them, and just those 2 kills alone should win Spirit the round.
That's much more like it, much more convincing. But at the beginning of this one for Team Spirit, they're taking their time. Yeah, I like the Team Spirit. I haven't really ever rushed into anything. They're not going anywhere without it being a thought-out decision. And they go to the wrong side. They walk into Jam. This could be the worst case scenario for Team Spirit. The teammate's calling to them. B is clear, but there's no time to make that change up. They've got to go quickly if they do. Team Spirit, this is definitely worrying, but there's no one there to stop them at least. They just go back and they realize, all right, we do have enough time. There's no need to panic. We get back over here, we get this bomb planted, and then that's the round done. Definitely a chance there. They still lost that round, but luckily, just enough time, and thank God for me making the play into the B site. Could have been an absolute horrible scenario.
Oh, luckily they're all right. Spirit will be confirming a double-digit scoreline, a 10th round, and a real chance to make this happen. This is something that does scare me slightly about VP on their CT side, is that they do like to go ahead and fight Banana quite heavily on CT side. it's quite common for Yekindar to want to go aggressive, to want to go for these pushes. And while he is playing well individually, giving those fights to Spirit early in the round is a real risk, because Spirit themselves have a bunch of aimers who have been playing well. If you give away some of those early fights on Banana, you know, there's a decent chance you'll lose them, and that can just straight away lose you the round. So that's the risk you run there when you are Yekindar going for those fights. VP, though, still with some decent weaponry in this round, and a 4-man B stack. They're going to get that Banana control straight away, although Yekindar caught out on his aggression again.
None of these entries, none of these openings coming in for Yekindar. Often the player that can deliver you those openings. For Team Spirit, they'll love that. This could be their chance to grab 11. Oh, Jame, though. Close angle down at Boiler. And some Young extends into his crosshair, and Jame is so ready for the headshot. And now Team Spirit will start to go in towards B. Buster's changing up his position. He has only got a deagle here, and no one else is over to help him out. Team Spirit have made the right call. If Buster can get one here, there's at least a chance for his team, and Buster has done that exactly. He stayed alive. He's got a headshot. He might even be good for another here. Buster never count him out, even when he's just got a deagle. Yeah, moves through, gets the headshot, cleans up the B site, and now can get the bomb down. But VP, it looks like they aren't even considering really going for this, at least by looking at Jame on the mini-map. He's not even left the A site yet. So I don't think they think their chances are all that great of getting back into the site. Even though it's a 3v3, I would definitely consider them to have a chance here. They're just leaving themselves with such little time that it really decreases their chances. If you want to go for a retake, I think those rotates just have to be a bit faster, but they're going to go for it anyway. Kicker goes on. It's a brilliant flashbang, actually. Magix gets one. Sanji in with a kill, and now it's all on Mute. But that time is ticking, and Mir's just going to hide back in dark. They move forward. Both VP players looking the wrong way. Mir's missed his shots. And now onto the defuse. Sanji's going to hold it. And it's not enough time. It's Virtus.Pro that will lose the round, and it is that time. They got to rotate faster.
That retake went almost as well as it could have, considering how long they took, and they still lose it. That just goes to show how slow they are. And you know what? If they have Jame there sooner, or just the man with the smoke there sooner, I think they go for the retake faster with maybe even just the 2 players. But Jame had the one smoke they needed to smoke off Banana, because otherwise you're so scared of that position.
Yeah, but what's he even doing, though? Like, he's not even doing anything on the other side of the map. It's like he's decided they're saving, and suddenly they realize they're going to go for it. Jim better make up for that. He's down in mid trying to open things up. Oh, that's a disaster for Virtus.Pro. At least they have a buy here.
I mean, maybe if Sanji sticks it first time, he actually gets saved by Jame. Who knows? But not great from Virtus.Pro's perspective. A lot to not like about that round, and now we've got a faster play from Team Spirit out through the apartments, but they've been denied early, and the rest of the Spirit players don't want to commit now that they've lost their early players. This is looking much better for VP. This should be a round for them.
Oh, Jame is the fire, and out with a kill. This is a very good round from Jame, and a really good reply from Virtus.Pro after that previous. And because they were so close to winning the retake in the last round, it actually has put the economy of Team Spirit in a bit of disarray. Oh, Jame with another. He really has made up for that. This round gets involved in pretty much every fight, and the rest of his team will close it out. They only lose Yekindar. And it's 10 for VP, and no money really for Team Spirit. So it's likely to be the tie-up scoreline for Virtus.Pro. 11 apiece. I don't know how they do it, but VP are back in it again.
Looking good for them. I still feel like VP... Why are we showing this again? Poor Magix. I still feel like VP should be our favorite team here, as much as there have been some strange moments, as much as there have been some rounds they shouldn't have lost. When the rounds play out more standardly and more expectedly, VP, I think, are generally getting the better of Spirit. You have to remember Spirit with that strong start in this game too, which they couldn't consistently keep up. Spirit's money should be low ahead of this next round. Oh dear. After you, good sir. James, you can go first with the AWP. Just Tech 9s and a couple of P250s for Spirit. So pace will be the objective here on the T side.
Four players close by for VP if needed on this A site. To make these rounds work, you really got to be able to get explosive picks out of balcony. And Kicker can slow that. Utility has come in as well to Flash, and Kicker, oh, it's on the bomb as well. That's the worst player to go down early, and Kicker's got away with it. No trade kill. Magic's trying to push up forward with his Tech 9 and P250 in his hands, and he's going to run forward. Sanji gets the double kill. Kicker with his frag as well, and in the end, it is a VP clean sweep. Sanji on the 3K, Kicker doing a good job to open it up. And Team Spirit's investment has not worked. It's VP that tie things up. What?
All right.
He shot his pinky finger off, Walker.
Very nicely done. But yeah, we'll be tied up, and it will be another round with Tech 9s for Spirit. That is never a good feeling. Especially after how the last one played out. They got pretty wrecked in the last one. They have more flashes this time. Could maybe make a difference. Last round, they didn't have too many flashes to work with, which I think are probably the most important thing when trying to go for the fast play. You really just want to blind players for a couple of seconds and then be able to get up close. Buster can just jump peek banana here. Get a good bit of early info for VP. I think there's a chance VP assumed this is more likely a full gun round from Spirit, which could affect the way they play. But, I mean, Buster's jump peeking this right now and is going to spot them early. He's going to see the players running at him, pull back to the site, and call for assistance.
Oh, you can good kill on the Magic. He stays alive and drops back, and in behind the smoke, he still gets a kill on Mirror. That bomb down, you still got to deal with Buster at New Box if Yukindar was even to go down, which he doesn't. He still holds, and there's something for Dexter, but even Yukindar will take him with a 4K. Really good hold there from Yukindar. 2 rounds in a row that have just been quick and easy for Virtus.Pro, and for Team Spirit, it's AKs out for them. Chopper picking up 1, Mir out with his, and this isn't the best buy here at all, but it's definitely decent enough for Team Spirit to get around. The worrying part is now you've had a couple of these rounds over on VP that their money is looking so good. So Team Spirit not only have to win this round, but they've got to win it and keep most of their players alive to be able to compete with the buy that'll come into the next round for Virtus.Pro. Oh, what a fight this time.
I think these early banana fights are the way that Spirit are going to have a chance here on this T side. VP continue to commit to them, and they're giving Spirit opportunities to give Mir fights. And that's exactly what Mir wants. He just wants a fair fight, and he's confident he'll win it most of the time. That is the case this time round, but the game has brought it right back into the 4v4. Still a good position for Spirit. Still advantageous from them, but that's the last flashbang just thrown by Mir into top banana. So they don't have any flashes now for the site take, which is a little concerning. VP are going to go back to regulation. Yukindar with the dry peek. A dangerous game he's playing. Low on health. He'll get back in time. And James has to step up. Damage done onto 2 players. And Molly put down as well to slow them down. And Spirit have been slowed down significantly.
40 seconds, Yukindar is low on HP, goes through the smoke, and he's done well there. James as well assisting him, and suddenly just Dexter, who is short-lived on his 1 SG kill. 13-11, Virtus.Pro have got a grip on this game now. It looks like they want to ride it right through to victory. Even with the openings, it's not enough. Mir does well to be able to pick it up, but it's the recovery from VP that's impressive. And I think the more and more Team Spirit start to lose these rounds, the more ideas they'll start to run out of. I think they don't have a whole lot left in their locker. Well, it does feel like VP have taken control of the game at the right time. It is likely to be a victory here in Inferno now for them. But for a Team Spirit fan, it's a positive future in terms of Dust 2 still coming up. And a very positive sign that they're able to compete this well on Inferno. It's not done yet either. Especially not with Mir.
Back-to-back banana entries from Mir. This time with the Deagle. What sort of response does that provoke from the CTs? As it stands, they haven't switched anything up. They're not going aggressive. This is so risky. If he goes down, it could be the round, but he gets back to safety just in time. Very, very scary, though, if you're a VP fan there. If your Kinder goes down, there's a good chance you're losing this one. Here comes that rotate, though. Sanji arriving. Oh, no. Sanji's going back. They're leaving Yakindar solo B.
Oh, he's got to be able to hold. He's had a lot of multi-kill rounds from here. He's got the right read in terms of waiting for that boost. But he's going to send himself back into dark, and this does limit the information he can get quickly. Oh, this could be an explosive play from Spirit. If they go contact, he's not even going to know. Finally, the steps start to come in. He's got to call for that rotation. You can see quickly again trying to get over in time. Yakindar's only got 1 kill. And that's not going to be enough. They got to get the bomb planted here, though, Team Spirit. They got to try and get it planted. And there's no smoke for CT. The bomb's just going across now. Finally, it gets over to the site. They're going to try and get it planted, but the kills from VP already started coming in. Oh, Team Spirit, you've got to pull this off now. Chopper and Sumda Young. 2 versus 3. Jim has got to fight in front of it. He's going to have to win it, and he's done that. Now it's just Chopper. M4A4 into runes. And oh, it's Jim. He can often be heartbreaking to watch and heartbreaking to play against. Chopper, they know where he is. James going to try and get onto the bomb. Spam, not really coming through. Defuse being stuck. James going to do it. Oh, it's nearly Chopper, but it's stolen away. Kicker with the headshot. Jim with the defuse. And VP, they win the round. You'd think that's the chance there for Team Spirit, but it's just not meant to be.
Look at Yakinda dropping the bomb. It's crazy that that's the kill he gets. He drops the bomb in the back lines. If that doesn't happen, the bomb's going to get onto the site instantly, and I think VP lose the round. But instead, it buys that bit of extra time to allow James to rotate over, hold the angle, and because it was the low buy from Spirit, they had no nades. They had 1 flash that they had to try and use to get that bomb over, and that's when I think they picked up from Yakinda's body. So just that 1 kill from Yakinda drops the bomb, and if he doesn't kill the bomb carrier there, it could be a completely different round. But instead, VP assemble the retake, and now Spirit have to go ahead and win this gun round. Otherwise, they give VP map point. Early damage done by Yakinda, but it's the Orpa Buster that will do decisive damage early, giving VP a man advantage.
It feels like Team Spirit kind of lacked that killer instinct decisiveness on the T side they usually would have. You know, when they're making decisions, they're far more tentative than their usual approaches. And I think sometimes that's caught them out here. They've just been a bit quicker at times, been a bit more decisive. I think they probably find it a bit more success in some of these rounds. It's allowing VP to make some rotations in time, especially in that last round as well. They just fully ran in towards the site. Probably would have been a little better for them. They're still trying to fumble and figure out how they get across that CT spawn, but in this round, they've lost a player. It is Chopper who has gone out of play. Oh, with 25 seconds left, James is about to spot another player. Easy. Seen the second coming out of Boiler. James reacts to that as well. It's all over here right now for Team Spirit. They're losing every fight. Kicker clean on the double to close it out. Definitely could have been a much closer game, even if Spirit had won a few different rounds, if there wasn't some hero moments coming out of VP. But it looks like Virtus.Pro have taken control at the right time. And they're about to close Inferno. Will be AKs in the next round for Team Spirit, but just how these rounds have, the majority of these gun rounds have been playing out, you've got to feel VP have got it.
Nice shots from James there on short too, with the AWP having to sort of jump back and make sure he can't be instantly traded. Did really well to get away with those 2 kills. Spirit were trying to force the trade, but they couldn't do so. Yakinda, my god, that was so scary. I thought he was actually going to jump up, but he ends up just spamming the smoke. And I think Spirit just keep hoping they can get these early kills on Banana, but this time Mir's been bested. And it just feels like if Spirit don't get that early kill, they don't have an answer.
And often, even when they get that opening kill, it's not enough, so it's looking real rough for them. Oh, that near damage as well. Probably going to try and pull the kill back. Oh, Buster. Nearly the flick, nearly accurate. Throw that utility into Yakinda. He still walks away with a kill. Even when mollied, Yakinda gets out of it. 2-man advantage now for VP. Surely this is it. Team Spirit are going to turn into the A site. Kicker from Pit. He had definitely a few good rounds over the last few. Getting multi-kills here and there. Could he close it? Jim has hit the shot. Now the short attack is just dwindled to 1 player, and Sumda Young is down to 6 HP. Try his best, trying to salvage what he can, but even he cannot pull it off. It's going to be Sanji through the smoke, and it's going to be VP out. Well, we're Russian, but suddenly we're back, and there we go. And it's going to be VP who take the win, Hawker. Much needed there in Inferno, obviously with Dust 2 coming up next. I think it was a must win there for VP. If they don't win Inferno, it's probably done.
Yeah, and they got off to that slow start, so got to give them credit for making sure that that didn't spiral out of control for them, right? They come back into it, and for Spirit, just falling a bit flat at the end there on those gun rounds. They didn't really seem to have many solutions, sadly, but I don't think we were expecting them to win Inferno. It's kind of similar to how these recent series have gone between these 2 teams, where Spirit get double digits on Inferno, but feels like VP are generally in control of the game, and they get the first map in their favor.
Well, coming up next will be Dust 2. It's Spirit's comfort ground. It should be their map win. It looks like we're going to be heading to a third, but to find out if that is the case, we've got to go to a short break, and we'll be right back with a second after this.
Legendary teams, major players, and electrifying tactical action are back in CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. From June 27th till July 4th, 10 teams will clash in the thrilling showdown for the prize pool of $100,000 and slots at the PGL Major Stockholm 2021. Who will win more rounds? Who will show the most furious play? And who will claim the major prize? Find out at the CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. And don't forget to reload.
Лично я очень сильно скучаю по лан-турнирам, и наконец-то уже не по чуть-чуть будут возвращаться. Вот, например, следующий будет Кёльн, он уже будет в лан-формате, без зрителей, но все же это лан-формат. И в целом не хватает этой атмосферы, соперничества, которое прям в упоре у тебя вблизи, а не как когда ты сидишь дома в полном комфорте. И, конечно же, это влияет на игру в целом, я считаю. Не могу отвечать за всех своих тиммейтов, но как команда в целом, думаю, что у каждого такой подход, как и у меня. По остальным командам сложно сказать, но большинство ребят, которые до этого играли на лан-турнирах, я думаю, мыслят так же, как я. В момент больше тяжелее играть под давлением толпы, но на долгом промежутке времени тяжелее играть дома в одной и той же атмосфере и постоянно под одним и тем же углом камеры, монитором, обстановкой. Все-таки этот лан дает тебе заряд и меняет всю игру в целом. В целом, я считаю, очень интересная карта, и я бы сказал, классическая карта Counter-Strike даже, где есть свой мид, 2 точки, и в принципе, это хорошая карта для игры, мне очень она симпатизирует. Насчет подготовки непонятно в целом ничего, потому что на этой карте еще нет такого понимания, как правильная игра, которая ведет к победе или каких-то еще таких вещей. Поэтому каждая команда может приготовить что-то свое, и это может смотреться интересно. Кто будет побеждать на этой карте в равной борьбе, непонятно. Но в целом команды, которые играют в индивидуальном скилле сильнее, чем остальные, должны побеждать на этой карте в любом случае.
Legendary teams, major players, and electrifying tactical action are back in CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. From June 27th till July 4th, 10 teams will clash in the thrilling showdown for the prize pool of $100,000 and slots at the PGL Major Stockholm 2021. Who will win more rounds? Who will show the most furious play? And who will claim the major prize? Find out at the CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. And don't forget to reload.
Welcome back to the StarLadder CIS RMR. My name is Dinko, joined by Hawka as we head into map number 2 of VP versus Spirit. We just had Inferno, and it did look pretty close at the beginning, but VP got their hands on it, and they didn't let go. And now we head into Dust 2. This is going to be Spirit's more comfortable map, right? It's their comfort ground. It's one they often go towards, and one they don't often lose on, shall we say, Hawka. So we are looking at Spirit coming out on top here. We can take a look at the last 3 months stats, and I think that just paints the picture beautifully.
Yeah, the only losses they've had on this map in the last few months are a 16-6 loss against Gambit, which is understandable. Gambit are just great and are the best team in the world right now. And then they had a 16-12 loss against G2 a couple of months ago. Very close map though, and we know that G2 are a team who can also compete with the best teams in the world. So for Spirit, every other game they've played has been a win, including against teams like Na'Vi, some real top teams. They actually had a win against Gambit on this map a few months ago too, before that 16-6 loss. So just goes to show their pedigree on this map is so strong. They're making it work consistently, which most other teams can't do. And so I'm expecting just to see the skill shine on through for the Spirit side here. But you never know in CSGO. We've got to play out the map.
Yeah, we definitely, but, you know, when you look at how competitive it was in a lot of rounds over on Inferno, and that was a map we didn't really expect Spirit to perform too well on based on what we've seen in the past for them. It does give me confidence coming into Dust 2. I think they played well enough to make me still believe that this is going to be a 3-mapper. We'll see if Team Spirit can get themselves the win here, though. They're going to have to get off to a good start, VP, on this T side. And once again, it is a common trait for Virtus.Pro to have heavy utility into these pistol rounds. We'll see what they have up their sleeve. It looks like they're going to be running heavily towards B. And it's going to be some Dayang towards the back platform.
Mir flashed through, but deciding not to stick with it. As you pointed out, SDY will be alone on B while all this happens, but no push there just yet. May come later on. They're still spamming mid, but now he will fall back to B, and it's just in time because it looks like VP are about to assemble this B play.
Yeah, utility starting to come on over. Mir holding, kicker to look at the floor. Second in from Mir as well. And he's looking for a little bit more out of the play here. Yukindar, good job with the headshot. There's not going to be enough just yet. You've still got to flush out the back platform. And Samda Young is doing well. He left his position to run forward and does get taken out by Buster in the end. Virtus.Pro will have fought their way into the B site and will get a plant out of it. At least confirming the second round force buy, if nothing else. But they still stand a chance of winning the round. Yukindar's going to hold for the door entrance. Magic's on the other side of the doorway. And here comes the double hit through tunnels as well. It's not easy here for Yukindar, especially with a shot like that. Dexter so quick on the trigger. And it's Team Spirit to keep 3 players alive, and they win the pistol.
Just having Mir ahead of that smoke makes such a massive difference here on the hold. You see there, Kickert's running in, trying to play anti-flash because he knows there are flashes coming in from his teammates. But he ends up not realizing that Mir can be ahead of the smoke. And even though for a second there, it looked like it came back to a winnable position for VP when they were getting towards the site, when they were getting that bomb down, Spirit were already pretty fast on the rotate. They had the kit in their back pocket too. They stick together coming through the tunnels to force those fights. So VP unable to win the pistol round, but they've got a chance to bounce back here. They've got an AK out into the hands of Yakinda, a couple of other decent weapons in play for them. And, oh, damage done early onto Dexter.
Yeah, not a bad start here for Virtus.Pro. He's just going to try and hold the gap. He did take damage, but now gets back alive towards CT spawn. And there's the finishing damage from Yakinda. Kill comes through, a kicker getting one, but Mir and Chopper at least cleaning up here for Team Spirit. It got scary at the start there, but those kills from Chopper makes you feel much more comfortable on the good side. But it might just change here. Chopper with another one. 3 kills in the round, and just Sanji left alone in top middle. Right in front of him is Magix, and the headshot is secured off the back of the FAMAS. It's 2-0 here for Team Spirit. And I think that one could have went either way at the beginning, but Chopper saves the day.
Yeah, look competitive to begin with, but like you said, Chopper makes sure that that doesn't end up happening with a nice 3K. Already starting to see the skill show itself on this Spirit lineup. They've got themselves the 2-0 lead. And this round should be even easier. This push from Mir isn't necessary. There are Deegs on the other side, so a quick headshot could give away the AK. Yakinda seems to have spotted him. They're going to try and double peek, but Mir's got the spray to the body on both players. Kicker can't do anything with the Glock. And this round has unraveled rather quickly.
It's like when you pull a thread on a terrible piece of clothing. It will be that. And Jay getting caught out. A clean round there for Team Spirit. And 3-0, brilliant start as well in the Dust 2. And it's much needed for them, right? They need to get off to a very good start. Because obviously, this is their comfort ground. If they can close this with a very convincing win and send this on to Overpass, who knows where that one might go. Because we did see Team Spirit play pretty okay on Overpass over the past couple of days. And VP, we know they generally like to go there. And I think there was probably a few weaknesses there for them. So definitely could be a fun one. But here comes VP full buy into the B site, looking to try and open things up. The potential man advantage. Yakinda often is the player that does that for them. And James as well, he's going to be the player looking to back up this attack.
Ooh, Yakinda with a sharp entry onto B, and now SDY has to hold, but there's only so much he can do. A bit of cover behind that box, but not enough cover when you're getting pushed from both sides. And that means VP will have the man advantage on the B side. Chopper's sticking around to see if anyone gives anything away. Steps being made by Magix. Kicker hasn't heard those. I don't think it's going to make a difference, though. They would need this kill instantly to have a chance on the retake. And while Kicker will stray too far, Magix misses his chance. Oh, the FAMAS has not helped him out there either. Kicker turns it round, and now it is all about saving for Spirit.
Yeah, there's no other option, really. If you lose the B site that quickly, you leave yourself with no real chance for a response. Doesn't feel good to lose that quickly, so VP carrying the weapons over. 3 AKs, AWP, and a real chance to recover these first 3 rounds. I mean, VP, we talk about Dust 2 as if there's no chance for them here, and it is because of, obviously, Team Spirit being so good on the map as of late, but VP are no slouches on the map sometimes. I feel like I have to use the word sometimes, Holker, because sometimes they look really good, and then other times they look, you know, quite lost on the map. So I'm hoping today is a good performance out of them. Double up set up immediately for Team Spirit. It's going to be some Young and Dexter taking them out. That's a huge investment early.
Looks like they want to focus on getting that secondary AWP on the B site, which they did just have problems holding with their regular rifles in that previous round. VP not going straight back to B, though. Putting a bit of pressure into mid. And this is one of those rounds where Spirit don't have much information towards that mid area. So seeing that smoke into CT has caused some concern for them. Mir is now having a look from the B site in towards mid to make sure they don't sneak out into that position, but both teams will be all right for now. And it's another one of these rounds where Spirit aren't having to use too many of these nades early on, which means as the clock runs down here, VP have got to be careful they don't just get mollied or smoked off as they try and go for their push.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult to hold this. The SDQ comes in and the utility drops. Kindar has found one headshot. Dexter that's gone down. This is not good for Team Spirit. This is a nightmare for the defense, losing this much early. And Kindar's inside of those smokes and they force the defense all the way back. There's no one even on the site to really contest this. And for Spirit, money is on the line, and after such a big investment, you've got no other option. It's a tough pill to swallow, but you have to. You have to save into this next one. You've got some of these long players sitting outside. If they don't get kills quickly, Hawker, you have to really start considering this. And with that kill from Kindar, that should be enough. That is going to be it. It's VP adding 2 to the tally. Team Spirit running away with their weapons. And Kindar just getting everybody. And obviously when you get these kills as well, those save options, they're not even, it's not even really that good of a save now. You've only got 2 weapons over into it.
Yeah, I get Chopper having to fight, right? He's committed up long. He can't really fall back anyway, so he sticks around, sees if he can get a kill or 2. Doesn't happen for him. Then they need to just keep alive, and now they're not going to get anything saved into the next round. If they saved 3 guns, they would have been okay. There's that first shot from Yakindar, though. So nice on the edge of that smoke. It's the standard play in, but Yakindar with some sharp shots on the AK looks good here at the start of Dust 2. Switched it out to the AWP for the long-range battle. Beautifully done. And with nothing saved for Spirit, chance for VP to build a win streak. They've got 2 in a row, and they should turn it into a 3rd round in a row right here.
Yeah. And that flawless beginning we had from Team Spirit is now gone. They're going to try that fast mid-play. Kendar, Sanji, and Jim just making it so clean. Kendar looking to take out the rest. It's just now 1 USP. And VP, fair play to them. They're making these rounds look easy. And we did see a lot of action over on Inferno with the default USPs. We're able to get away with too much. So you definitely don't want to be dropping players in unnecessary scenarios. But Team Spirit will have a buy coming up into this round. Look how much money they had on a few players there. So buy coming out, it's going to be good. It's going to be rifles out for them, all up in the hands of Dexter, who has really, unfortunately, been eliminated quite early in a lot of these rounds.
Ooh, just before the smoke lands, Sanji goes around the corner, and Dexter gets his chance to get an early kill in one of these. Kindar seeing what he can do. He's looking very confident right now. To go out through the mid doors alone like that is a big risk. Sometimes players will be playing close by, but Yakindar just wants fair fights. He might get given one here. Great flick from Yakindar. That is so quick. He's not even prepared for that angle, but he gets away with it. Unfortunately, though, for him, the nade will finish the job, and he won't be able to have any more impact in the round.
It's a great start here for Team Spirit. The bomb lies outside of the B tunnels. Chopper's walking into them. He could separate this off. They try and pick up that bomb. It's not going to be easy for them to regroup with Jim. They've got to deal with the lower tunnels, and Jim at least goes back to check that. He goes back to check into the lower tunnel, and that should allow them to pick up this bomb. But it's still a difficult task even getting it out into the site. They've still got to deal with the players already there, but Samda Young's actually come off the angle. They think it could be the long play. They think they could be running back around long, but instead, it is going to be the play into the B side, and they just left it open. Luckily, Samda Young looks back in time, and he gets 2 through the smoke. Beautiful stuff there from Samda Young, and it's James now left alone with a 1v4 in front of him. I think his teammates not getting enough done there. James, this is too difficult for him. 1v4, push him down, and Samda Young with a beautiful round. Gets back and looks to the B site quick enough and just makes it work.
Makes it work. And yeah, I think so far, so good for VP, honestly. Like, just keeping this game somewhat close is a decent start to it. Obviously, this round not going according to plan. SDY using those switch round doors to go ahead and spray 2 players down, but still see the plan there for VP, and they were down earlier in the round, and this time going for a bit of a faster play up through mid. Spirit are often leaving that mid area open at the start of these rounds, so there is the potential for VP to try and punish them there. They will use that to go into short, fairly standard start to the round.
Yeah, default complete once you take that short control allows you to have so many options available into the mid and late rounds, right? You can go into the A side with a short take, which is the most standard execute on Dust 2, or you can go down for the A short fake out and go back into the B split, which we see a lot of teams do as well. Seems like that's going to be the call, and it looks like Semoga Young trying to get aggressive. He's trying to get the info back, and he's going to find it. It's Buster that's being found. And Semoga Young, again, just a brilliant hold of the B side. He is the defender that they need to try and get rid of here. And they finally do it, and Kicker gets the double kill. The dream is still alive for VP. The bomb plant starts to come in, and Jam will run over to the tunnels to play with his teammate into the 2v3.
Oh, Kicker's trying to make an even bigger play here. Unexpected angle, and Kicker mows them down. Another double kill from Kicker. That's double kills on the round for him. And that should settle it. Dexter only has the AWP. He can't go for the retake. And this is the value that Kicker can provide to this team. When the round starts to get a bit crazy, when it starts to go off the rails, Kicker is so good at making those plays and finding those timings for his team to save the round. It doesn't always work for them, but when it does, it is so important. And that's an exact round where he realizes, I have to get something going here. I can't just sit back on the site. And my God, did Kicker deliver.
Kicker can sometimes have those performances. We've seen it from him. We've seen those performances come out of Kicker. But, you know, it is usually the Yakindar and it is Jam we look to. But Kicker, he's sometimes forgotten. And he can remind you very quickly why you can't count them out. And that's one of those rounds. Yesterday, I think it actually was a couple of days ago, we had Kicker on the stream. It feels like yesterday, Hawkins, so many days of action. But the first time we got to see VP out, Kicker was actually pulling them out of a lot of holes in some of the rounds they were winning. And I would love to see that be a consistent factor in this tournament. I think he's a little like... I think he's a better version of Fame. I think, you know, he's kind of in that same vein where we talk about him. When he shows up, he can really turn games around. But I would love to see that be consistent. And here's a round for Team Spirit. It's going to be the double up setup, the rifles in play.
Quick push on long. Kicker might go through this if they've got a flash ready. Buster's going to deliver it. Yakindar running around the side. They're trapped in this angle. Yakindar hits the first headshot, but Magix will be able to get out safely. So not an awful start for Spirit, but VP will be the happier of the two teams, especially because they can start to sneak up long, and they have smokes to allow the cross.
And they do get the cross smokes in, they attack up into the site. They start to run it. They're going to look for the plant here. Kicker again getting another opening for the team. They need to be solid, and Kicker just keeps going. He's a death machine. Finally, out of play by Semoga Young, but his damage is already done. And Semoga Young was on the retreat, but I think he's been called back into play here by Amir, who thinks he's got a chance, who thinks he's got an opening here. He's got to find a kill quickly. And with a FAMAS, it's not exactly easy. And no kit, no utility. Has to be the safe call again for Team Spirit. VP's T-side's actually looking really strong right now. This is worrying for Team Spirit.
Nice fast kill on towards the long position. You get yourself a fast execute onto A, just with 2 smokes. I like running that play every now and then. I think it's a good play to throw in there. And again, it's Kicker who, once getting towards the site, gets a couple of important kills that put them in the position where Spirit can't even go for it. And oh, so close for Sanji. He's out of ammo at the end. These are the kills from Kicker, jumping up onto the site. Finds the first player, catches the second man off guard, and SDY's trade was too slow to allow Spirit much of a chance there. So well played by VP. Again, sticking to the basics, sticking to the standard rounds, but that's a lot of what Dust 2 comes down to. Just sticking to the standard rounds, not making many mistakes. VP are doing that right here.
Yeah, Dust 2, that's all it really comes down to, fundamentals. It always helps when you have an individual showing up here and there as well. And luckily for VP, they've got quite a few of those. This long take looking to be easy for them. No real resistance when you don't have utility nor really the weapons to compete for it. They're just going to try and stack the site instead. And that is an option, right? If you don't want to fight in towards long, you can definitely stack out the site itself and try and have some traps laid for the opponents who come into the site. Maybe they don't think there's going to be so many players playing in and around those boxes, and that might catch off VP, especially if Semoga Young can start to dish out some kills with his orb. Taking your Kindar, he's going to get a second opportunity as well. Kicker was distracted, a third from Semoga Young. What is this hold from him from the site? Finally, Jam will get rid of him, but he's done enough to put his team in a really strong position. And like I said, these pistols all over the site, these pesky pistols, getting a 5th round for Team Spirit. Jam's got to drop down into pit, and this round is not winnable for Jam.
Not in the slightest. SDY doing so much with that AWP. Finally gets a chance to have more of an influence on these early rounds on A as he switches up his position. And Jam will be sitting back. With 20 seconds left, as you said, no way to win, but he wants to make sure he can save. So he's clearing out these angles to ensure he is as safe as possible. Spirit still want to focus on their own money, though, so they'll let Jam live to fight another day. They will focus their own economy and getting some AKs out on the CT side, which can be a real difference maker on Dust 2. With how important those early fights are, having the potential for an AK headshot can be huge. Oh, that shot's so quick.
It's just the opportunities he's getting as well. The players were distracted a little bit, but you have to hit all those shots. And when you're peeking out from Goose like that, you can very easily get picked off. Brilliant stuff from Semoga Young. That's the kind of round that can really excite the team again, ignite them going into this first half to get a few more rounds out of it. Just edge out as much as you can into this one.
Slow start again. Bomb's been left at top mid. Like you said, though, that prior round could certainly ignite something for Spirit. The Dragons could be about to breathe some fire on the server right here. Or is it the Bears' turn to roar again?
I did like that comparison. StarLadder were tweeting out a little bit earlier. The Bears versus the Dragons. I think Dragons win that battle pretty much every time if it's an actual physical battle. Hulk, what do you think?
Oh, it depends how big the dragon is.
Well, it's a baby dragon, maybe not.
Because a dragon is exactly. Because the dragon's mythical. It could be a tiny dragon for all you know.
Will you think the Team Spirit are a tiny dragon?
I don't think so. Magic's pushed in long here, so they can fully focus short. I think Dexter may just play for retake, falling back. There's the one kill, and now they can play for retake, but not before Kicker gets the headshot. Magic's having to watch the flank. It's an awkward engagement, but Spirit still have some nades for this retake that could be really useful. Here comes Kicker, though, again making the play in the mid-round, putting us back to a 3v3, and SDY getting a couple more kills of his own. In comes Mir, and it's all on Jam.
Once again, they asked this man to clutch. And he can often deliver, but there's the first shot. He's going to need more into this one. And they continue to push down Jam. He's the miracle worker, but not this time. Semoga Young on the headshot. Over the top for the round on Team Spirit. The defusers coming in so quickly as they arrive to the site. And that is now 6 in for Team Spirit. Enjoying this game so far from both the sides. I'm glad the VP are putting up a real solid fight. It's these retakes that you do wonder just where they're going to go. And then at the final few moments, a couple of decisive kills coming quickly there for Team Spirit. Gives them enough time to get back into the site. And in the end, it is just Jam, and unfortunately just gets the one kill.
Yeah, it looked pretty good for VP initially. When Kickup pushes CT like that, you're thinking that that kill could be a decisive moment, but Spirit just fine. Kill after kill on the retake. VP were fighting them pretty aggressively. Flash through mid. James got an early kill. Oh god, kills happening all over the place. James finding a couple through the mid doors, I believe. One into short, one through mid. Spirit now in real trouble. Look at how spread their CT hold is right now.
Yeah, it's not really looking that solid in terms of the defense. In terms of, you're going to need a lot more impact out of each and every individual when you're in this scenario. In particular on that B side, if they try to go over there, Semoga Young, and he has done a lot of damage, has to really step up again. But right now, looks like VP have options available to them. If they get more info, they could decide where they want to finish the round. Smoke goes out in towards short Molotov, in towards the middle of the A-bomb site. And we'll start to pressure onto Dexter. From long and short, it looks like the split into the A site is the call, with a lit lurk out into the B site, and might actually work out here. Semoga Young's found the B lurk, and they've got 2 players still on the site, so this could work for them, but Dexter's down immediately, and now Magic's trying to hold on from Goose. Just 1 kill. 9 seconds left as the ball tries to come into the site, and Magix has stopped it. There's no time. He can just stay alive, and the round is done. Sanji cannot get close to the site, and it's just those kills for Spirit. They go towards the wrong site. VP walk into where there was just 1 player lying in wait, and there's such limited time, and often the issue with VP, they run out of time.
These are those earlier shots from James. The second one was sublime, but like you said, low time left on the clock. Dexter got 1 kill initially in this position on A, and then Magix can just go ahead and tuck into that corner, realize he has to just survive as long as possible, and that's something Magix can be really good at. He's often in those positions where he's maybe not allowed to be involved in the early round situations, but when it gets to the late round, he's put in positions where he's got to make the right decision. And playing it so safe there was definitely the right call. I like the early angle he took to onto Buster, just a little bit wider than you might initially expect. Made it hard for Buster to win that fight against him. And now look at the position VP are in. Just Sanji with the AK. Everyone else has almost nothing. Just a couple of digs, no real nades for them. And when you're going up against 2 AWPs, that can be a big problem.
Yeah, you got to really clear out all that fraggy potential. Meta comes through the doors, and the Deagles, they're delivering. The aggression has not worked for Team Spirit. They've lost those players. Magic, at least elsewhere, getting 1 kill back. And now they're going to get a boost over, but they try for it, but it's still the shot of Semoga Young. And VP, it looked good at the beginning, but still it is crumbling. Magic's doing a good job at pulling this one back. And Semoga Young's got in towards window. And James is going to be waiting with the Glock. He hasn't seen him. He's scoped in. Oh, this is horrible. James gets the kill. And now they all picked up because of it. Magix and Dexter have to recover the site. And when you give it up to James, you never really know what's going to happen. He has been pretty quiet here on Dust 2. He could have done a lot more so far. But he can still get this round for them. What a miracle this would be. He's going to hold and look into tunnels. Team Spirit taking their time, and they've got kits on both remaining players. They've got some utility as well. The flashes have to be so good. And Jim's looking the right way. Unfortunately, it's still the kill for Buster, and he looks back up into window, gets the kills. 3 from Buster, and VP went around they should have no right in coming out with.
Close quarters D comes through again. We've seen it so often in this tournament, and even when James gets caught with poor timing, looking back towards the tunnels just as Spirits start to go for the retake through the doors, Buster's in a great position to just trade his teammate body shots to begin with, and then once he hears Magix, he can do the same. The Deeg is so good in those scenarios when players are just running into your crosshair and you can just spam away. And that's what happened at the start of the round too. You see Kicker just waiting for Mir to come round the corner. Couple of body shots. The boost up didn't go according to plan, but it didn't matter because it drew the attention away from the AWP of SDY, allowed that to go into the hands of James. And what a massive round for VP. That is a huge swing round, Dinko, because now Spirit go down to a half fight, and VP have a real chance of coming away with a win from this half. They could get 8 rounds now.
Yeah, they definitely could, and that is heartbreaking for Spirit because we talk about how they have to win Dust 2. They didn't win Inferno, and now this has to be the map that gives them the win. Much more pressure on the series here for VP, of course, when the grand scale of things when it comes to the RMR points. I like that they're showing up. That round, definitely a little bit of luck playing into it when you see James spot the player scoped into the tunnels. There's everything after that that needs to come through. Good flash up here from Kicker. Smoke, actually. Flash is going to go over the top, and Kicker's been cemented with it. He might just find 3 players on the other side of that smoke, and he's not able to get any out of it.
Well, maybe Spirit could try and come back with their own round win on the lower buy, but I don't know how likely that is. The B site has been left completely exposed. Kindar's alone on mid. They can try and gang up on him here, but Yakindar holding wisely. Tucks in, eventually gets taken out, but he's bought a bit of extra time, and there's no kit in play for Spirit, so it's got to be an instant retake.
Quick kills again, and Sanji making it work for the side. It is these other individuals that have had great moments, and we talked about this earlier on. VP in their initial matchup when they lost, it was still Yakindar looking okay. Jim was definitely playing well, but it was the other players that didn't perform so hot. And now they're really delivering in a lot of rounds, and Yakindar obviously still playing well, which certainly helps matters. With Buster in recent rounds, has really delivered some impactful plays, and up against pistols like that, happily closes them around. So we head into the last round of the half. As close as you can get it right now, still even, 7-7. And Chopper with the headshot. It started things off really well, and now down into lower tunnels, comes out with a second. That looks like Team Spirit are set up perfectly to try and get an 8th round here.
So much talent on both teams. You know, the fact that Spirit's IGL Chopper can just come through, get 2 kills like that. I think Spirit, you know, we've talked about them being a very loose team, and the IGL term should be used quite loosely with them because they took Chopper out for a little bit of time when they were rocking the 6-man roster, but still so nice when you can have players just come through with early kills like that. Chopper loves to take fights early in rounds. He does so effectively here at the start of this one. And with Dexter holding his position, this could be the round done. Buster has to clear his back, and he's not ready for Mir. If he gets that second kill, all of a sudden the round hangs in the balance. But Sanji has a 1v4 on his hands, and there should be no way in.
Yeah, this is a really good round to try and close out this half, especially from Chopper. He's had enough of the VP white. Signs his best if he just goes and gets aggressive, and he's able to make those early duels work. He makes them sing very quickly on for Virtus.Pro. It is not the 8 rounds at the half, but it is still 7 out of their T side on a map that we heavily favored to Spirit. That's not bad at all from Virtus.Pro. I really do hope their CT side has a bit more life in it. Usually, you know, VP can be a little bit stale on the CT side. Sometimes this is where the life doesn't really exist, especially on Dust 2. We sometimes see quite the drop-off, so I'm really hoping we get to see a good performance on the CT side, something that inspires hope and potentially a win for Virtus.Pro. They're going to have to do most of the heavy lifting now on the CT side.
Timeout taken ahead of this second half, so get a chance to remind you what you've seen up until this point. It was a decent start for Spirit on their CT side. They got that 3-0 lead from the pistol round, so for VP to come back and make it a close half was pretty impressive. Put up a really good fight here. I think we're seeing shades of the old VP that when they were in great form, they would play well. We've seen, you know, Yakindar just taking fights constantly. He's shown real confidence in some of these rounds. It's very exciting to see him start to get back to his best. We've seen Kicker have huge moments in these mid rounds, in these post plants. Let's see if that can continue into the second half, though. VP have got to come through with a good CT side, because despite all those positives I was just pointing out, Spirit are still so dangerous on this map. Mir and the entries can be so strong on the T side, and they're not wasting any time running up short in the pistol.
No, they are not. And Jim, he has to deliver some big shots. And they haven't spotted him yet, so that gives him some time to play with. And quickly out to the right side. If Magic's head has gone down quickly. And now he's looking for some more here, if possible. Still alive, and that is definitely a positive for Virtus.Pro right now. He's still kicking, and Kicker, speaking of, comes in with a headshot. Jim delivering one as well, and Chopper finally some blood drawn for Team Spirit. And now it's just Chopper. 1v4. He looks for the headshots on the ramp. He dishes the damage, but it is VP that come out on top with a pistol round. It's just staying alive that does enough.
That's so important from VP. They get the chance to get a bit of money under them, get a bit of confidence behind them early on this CT side, which is exactly the same luxury that Spirit had themselves. The only downside is you do concede that bomb plant when you play this safe, and we all know what that means. Second round full spy should be coming in from the Spirit side, but solid stuff from VP there. James, as you said, just surviving on the site for a long, long time. And another timeout taken by VP, making 100% sure they are ready for this upcoming round, because they've got 4 Galils against them. And one of the difficult things in this round for VP is picking whether or not you prioritize those helmets. I think you probably have to, because you can be up against the Galils, the Tech 9s, the Mac 10s. So that's a bit of extra money that VP have to spend on getting those helmets on board on most players, but they still have 3 premium rifles to work with, which is a big plus.
Yeah, there's premium
You know,
rifles.
I do wonder,
Go ahead.
just quickly, do you think the M4A1S is seeing more play because of how hard the CT economy is right now?
I think actually
that might be
that's
part of it.
I think that's a pretty good explanation, considering how expensive it is to be a CT, how often you're having to go with these scrappy buys. The A1S is a very viable gun, but it's a bit cheaper as well. So yeah, I think that's a very good explanation, Hawker. I think you're onto something there.
Especially on this sort of round, right? Like, you know you need to get the helmet probably as well.
Yeah.
So to get the M4A4 is really hard. You can see Kicker's got one here, but he's got no nades because of it.
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. And Team Spirit right now with their T side, I mean, the Galil, the cool thing about the T side is, right, you got the AK, which is cheap, but even if you don't get the AK out, if you don't have enough money for that, you still got a very good rifle in the Galil. Whereas the CT side, I think the comparable isn't even the FAMAS to the Galil. It's more so the A1S. So yeah, I definitely have to agree with you on that front. It seems like the most logical explanation. Well, 49 seconds left in play. And it's going to be a slow walk up from Team Spirit. They're going to be walking their way into this A site. And Sanji's going to be waiting here. And he's got to keep it out long if needed. And Sanji has a Molotov as well. So he could try and delay this. Jim has no utility. And he only has a scout in play. So he's got to hit some headshots. Doesn't land any shots. And Sanji peeks out not getting anything either. But that Molotov will delay things. Goes down to the site. Does damage as well. Good headshot. James be taken out of play. So Sanji has much more pressure on him. Luckily, the rest of his teammates getting a couple of kills, but it's not even going to be enough. So it's just Buster coming back into play. Up short, 10 seconds left. Couldn't deny the bomb plant, but now can certainly attempt the retake. Just got to hope that he gets plenty of opportunities, but none of that is going to be happening here for Buster. So he's going to back away, runs down into lower tunnels, and we have to see another round added to the tally of Team Spirit. VP not able to pull off it back-to-back. And that's the issue with those T-round, second-round force buys. They're just so good when you get those Galils out.
Yeah, and it's SDY who's having an exceptional showing here for Spirit. Involved in quite a lot of the early fights in this round too, which I think oftentimes isn't the way he'll play. He'll oftentimes be more in the back lines, but I like that here when he's feeling confident and when he's clearly having a really good individual showing, it seems like he is more willing to get involved in the early pack. You saw at the start of the round, he got that really nice kill towards B. And then here, Miz going in first, but SDY just behind him, ready to try and get some of these trade kills. Even was aware of the player flanking. He's absolutely been a big difference maker here for Spirit.
It's always nice when you have so much depth on the team. You can rely on players like Semoga Young to step up like that as well. Yakindar has gone into lower tunnels. Up here right now, Magix has no idea. And look, oh, Yakindar, he tracked his head too long, and it was a matter of time before Magix turned down, and that's a big flick out to the left from Dexter. Sanji tried to cross over, but it did not work out. And VP handed two very bad starts. Team trying to hold on to the B site, gets one kill, but there's just too many players running at him. And with the scout, you can't really find multi-kills that easily. Kick at Deagle needs some magic to come out of it. And he spots some opportunities, but no kills from it yet. And now I really do start to wonder if this is even possible, and the answer is quickly found. It's gonna be a no. Buster has to save that M4.
Quite a quick one. But this is where Spirit oftentimes can shine on this map. 61% win rate on the T side of Dust 2. Their CT round win percentage is still also very good at 59%, but I think their T side is a really important part of why they can be so successful here on Dust. So 10-8 in favor of Spirit. VP starting to look like they may go crashing out if they're not careful. And Dexter with that shot on the cross, just putting them in such a bad position. Not much VP can do from that point onwards. Buster saving one rifle, but I don't think there'll be much else alongside him. They've bought a smoke for the cross, which is kind of a must on Dust. You've always got to get that down, even if you're going to stack a site. You don't want to give away the information too easily. And then really not much else. So Buster's going to take a big risk here and try and pull some successful play out of his backside. I don't know how he's going to find it, though. Oh, wow, wait. Oh, okay. For a second, I thought he found the timing.
Yeah, well, Magix just does him in for the backside instead. That's how it happens sometimes. That's how it be. Here towards the legs. Good crouch underneath the smoke. There's another player over there. Jim is taking significant damage. I like this boost. This is really cool. This could work out for a kill, maybe, if they were to go into the B site, but it looks like they have decided B will not even be a call that they consider. They're going to go in towards the A-bomb site, and right now there is no one over here for Virtus.Pro, so you can't really expect anything to come out of it. It feels like you can see the differences between Inferno and Dust 2 in terms of Team Spirit looked really good up until a point on Inferno, and then you could see the class of VP on the map kick in. And then that was when Team Spirit really started to really struggle to find opportunities, chances, openings, and you could just see there was always an answer from Virtus.Pro. But the similar story has come over here to Dust 2, where it was a good start from VP, but when it really gets tough and when more is needed, Team Spirit have far more options, a far deeper strat, far more comfortability on this map, and it's really getting them through. 11-8 now is pulling ahead.
Big moment here for the VP side. Gun round finally assembled for them here in round 20. And a double AWP set up to go with it. Dexter has been pretty good on the cross in the rounds we've seen so far. Ooh, close this time, but not gonna land. Instead, he'll put the flash over on towards A long, and VP have instantly turned away from holding that position. Instead, Jame will be boosted up on short, but the flash forces him away early. Spirit will get long control without having to commit too much to it. Really, they just used a lot of flashes, which is quite commonplace. And now Dexter will see if he can search for a pick onto A. Oh, wow. This is really nice.
Yeah, this could really work out for Virtus.Pro in defense. This is a big anti-play to what Team Spirit are about to pull out against them. Molotov clearing out car. Smoke going down onto it here. Counter utility immediately coming through from Virtus.Pro. They're going to try and fake out that there's a player playing car, so they waste some utility trying to deal with that, or some time trying to deal with that. Maybe there's a bit of a distraction. It allows Kicker to try and creep through the smoke, and he goes through the smoke. He does some damage, but has to go out of it. They're not using Molotov to clear out the car. They're not going for it again. They just feel like Virtus.Pro don't have a player there, and I like that from Team Spirit. I mean, it's really banking on there not being a player behind the car, thinking they would have fought by now. And the utility starts to come in, the double smoke for the cross again. Kicker tries to move through, but they're not getting anything. No kills yet, and here comes the attack up into the side. Sanji will be the first player in defense, and Magix, with a perfect flash from Chopper, has delivered the opening kill, and the site is now crumbling. They may have had the majority of players over here, but in the end, every turn and every twist is found by Team Spirit, and Virtus.Pro for the 4v5 retake attempt. Outlaw Yukindar finds the first.
Chopper closing in on this fight. 6 bullets left for him. Flash about to come his way, and he gets into pit safely. Eventually goes for the reload, but his teammates are dropping around him. He's got to step up here in this position, and he hits the first headshot. Now VP could be second-guessing themselves. Kickert's coming in from short, but there's no time at this point. They got nowhere near the site. Nice shot from Chopper to help out. I think if he goes down, there's maybe a chance VP run it onto the bomb site, but the time was always going to be a factor. Spirit get their 12th round win, and despite VP saving a couple of guns, a couple of AWPs even, it is starting to slip away from them here.
This could have been at one point I thought there was going to be a chance for a VP win, and now it's looking like it's probably going to end with a convincing scoreline for Team Spirit. So, really impressive stuff coming out of the Team Spirit team. And Dexter looking into mid. He's going to pick out Yukindar. Dexter has been quiet in this tournament, I want to say. In terms of what we have seen from him when he first came into the team and just before he came into the team, I think the performance, I think it's fair to say, he has been quiet by comparison to his own standard. Which is actually really, I mean, in a way it's obviously a negative for Spirit, but it's also a positive, because if that's something you have in your back pocket that could happen at some point, Dexter coming into form on top of you playing well already, very exciting.
Yeah, potential for an even bigger upside later on into the tournament. Good kill from him in this round either way to help put them in a good position. Buster's just gone away from B. Smoke will go into the mid doors, but they're sneaking up on him, and Buster wasn't ready. Nice reaction shot, and James gets one on the cross. That keeps this round competitive, but they've got a smoke down on the door and a molly into window. That should help them get this bomb down safely.
Utility locking out the site,
though. Yeah, they're okay.
They're retaking the B bomb site with a double AWP is it's quite ludicrous, especially with no kit here. Only got 2 flashes, so another scenario, another one of those. He's not really having much luck on Deagles at times. And some Young comes in to put him out of his misery. You do want Sanji and James to carry these 2 weapons into the next round. You don't want them going down and not bringing those over, so looks like that's going to be confirmed for them. At least a positive, but it is now 13-8 on the board, and we are very likely to see Team Spirit take Dust 2 quite soon, I would say. And with the way this T-side's going, VP have made some good calls, honestly. They've had some good stacks, they've had some good situations. It's just Team Spirit making the better calls or the better situations. And I have to say, you know, when you look at the Team Spirit side, look at the depth across the board. Today, it's some Young stepping up. Mira's with them. Magix and Chopper are doing their bit. And so, on the other map, on Overpass, you can often see it's Magix stepping up alongside Mira. So, I think that really does help them in these scenarios.
Always cool to get the slow-mo shots on some of these. But so far, it's been a fairly standard affair here for Spirit on their T side of Dust 2. Time for VP to get going now. Otherwise, it may be too late for them. Smoke takes its time on the cross, but they're finally going to get the cross safely. Good flash from Shotha. Eventually gets the kill he was looking for. Kicker able to fight back, but here comes some re-aggression. Jame forced off the angle. Kicker going for fights, but I don't think they realized he'd crossed. I feel like they should have seen that, but apparently they didn't. Mir gets caught now towards mid, so it's all back to a 3v3. I think it's all going to calm down now.
Finally a chance for Virtus.Pro to win a round. 3v3 in the last few seconds. You gotta feel the AWP of James gonna get at least one here. There's no flash to get him off. He would have to try and bait out the shot by jumping around the corner. So James should be getting one. But the run boost is a nice call, a nice variation, and James not able to hit it. Go back again. Double smoke in from Team Spirit. They're really doing a good job. Even without flashes, they can get rid of James. And luckily, through the smoke, he can't deal with that. Buster right through it, nails Sumda Young. And now it is Jame who thinks about going forward, but Yakinda has got the kill from short. It's just Dexter left alone. He's been quiet, and this round is not looking like what he's going to be able to pop off in. Jame with the shot. A real good round there from Virtus.Pro towards the end. A little bit lucky with a shot from Buster through the smoke, but you'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. Getting that initial shot, getting them into the advantageous position. Dexter was just in a position where he was basically praying that someone was going to peek him one by one, but Jame creeped all the way around through the smoke, up the ramp, and in behind to give VP a 9th round win. Spirit still have a good bit of money for a couple of rounds, but that could be broken eventually if VP can continue to win rounds convincingly. They probably have to deny the bomb plants to make that happen, but it's possible. Smoke dropped down by Magix. Molly will go into short. Jame currently committed to the angle. You don't see that too often from the AWP. It's a rather big risk, really, to go there unless you have some support. But of course, this time he has Kicker close by. Magix is alone. He killed for Jame initially. Trapped in the corner, but Kicker's here to help. The double stack looking good, but in comes Mir. Oh, he's out of ammo. He's gonna get back alive, though.
Yeah, running out of ammo, but at least has a teammate there with him. Dexter getting the kill in the end. 3v3 could have been a nightmare there for Team Spirit, but they have recovered it well, and Yakinda doing Yakinda things and running right up middle into Chopper. That is an interesting kill to find, and one that VP will not be happy with, but Team Spirit will not complain about. They'll walk in towards the A-bomb site. No one's here in terms of actually being on the bomb site itself, but Buster's down in CT spawn. Kick it out to the mid doors, 30 seconds. It's not really looking like VP believe in this. They're so confused as to where this could go. They think the Team Spirit could go back to the B bomb site. But the plant confirmed on A. It's the save call from VP again. It's always rough when you have to watch a 2v3 save call at this point in the game. 14-9. Team Spirit are only 2 away from victory now, Hawker. It's looking very, very good for them.
Just looked like VP assumed it was already going to be an A play when Yakinda pushes through the mid doors like that.
Yep.
Looked like he thought they were already up towards the site when Spirit were actually playing it patiently. Once Yakinda goes down, the A site is indeed open for Spirit to take later on. 14-9. It feels like Spirit have just taken over here when they needed to. Should be a buy from VP, no reason not to. Shouldn't be any difficulties in the buy either. This initial setup looked pretty solid. You know, Jame in the corner, just surviving as long as he could. Kick out there to help. Sure, James going to go down, but it was the fact that they just couldn't get that second player away safely. Couldn't get back to the site in time. Ends up being costly. And another timeout taken by VP. Trying to find solutions, but so far they haven't been able to best Spirit on their super strong dust.
Over on the mainstream, we're obviously running 2 simultaneous streams throughout the group stages. Over on the mainstream, it is already done for the day. They finally get a quick day over there. Semoga definitely had their work cut out for them when they returned to commentary, but Gambit taking the 2 win over 4s, and Sumda Young looking to get 2 of his own as he dives out in towards the long area. Very quick start to the round, and it is 1-for-1 trades, but look at this play through the smoke. Oh, Kickert. Ugh, that's not good at all, and Buster now holding on to the B site. 3v3 somehow, so they have given away a lot of kills here on both sides.
Yeah, there have been a couple of moments where Spirit have stayed very spread out and just taken fights everywhere that's allowed VP to stay even, at least on the trades, where maybe they shouldn't be. But a 3v3 is still something that Spirit will be quite happy with, because the CTs have to spread across the map. Initiative taken by Buster, though. He's fully cleared out the B tunnel, so Sanji will realize the A site is likely the position where Spirit will be pushing. I think Sanji should get into a good position on the site in time, with Buster coming through for a flank. Oh, could Spirit come back?
Oh, they're about to walk back into Buster, just chopping. Oh, second kill from Buster. Oh, so clean, so quick. And Buster takes them down.
That's so hard to do with the AWP. I thought he might just let them jump down and eventually take a kill in the back, but fighting his way out of it, he realized he could get the drop on the players as they were jumping down. He realized if he's quick with these kills, he can reposition. And look at the way he repositions after every shot. Makes it hard for Spirit to know exactly where he is. They're jumping in desperately to try and force the trade, but Buster makes the play. VP need more where that came from, but it's the start they needed to try and see if they can mount this comeback.
If the comeback starts to come through, I'll get very excited. Because VP have been dead in the water for the last few rounds here. But Team Spirit, their money just about to be broken. And Yukindar is up to some antics into the B tunnels. Even if he doesn't find a player there, which he won't. That's information gathered, but he would have to go, because look how quick Team Spirit are thinking about this A play. Kickert and James currently in towards the side itself. Goose is the position of Kickert, and James is going to go down in towards CT spot. They can throw some utility, some counter utility, but look at that. So quick onto the headshot. Kickert is down out of play. There really has to be a good hold here from James, but he doesn't even want to stand and fight. James decides to fall off, and look at the utility. Bombarding the A bomb site from Team Spirit. It's a straight up cat execute straight out of the round. You've got to play the retake now. You definitely want at least a kill quickly. And Sanji, he's been forced forward. He's been forced to go for this. And he's got himself a headshot. This gives VP a good chance into this. But they'll have to start moving quickly. And you want James to get involved, but he's just sitting out long. He's just waiting for the flank to come in. You want to get him involved in this retake. And finally, the kills start to come through. It's Sanji and Buster getting the picks. And Mia is just in this 1v4. Through the smoke kill, flying one, and what a retake so far from Virtus.Pro. Just beautiful stuff from Sanji. You know, his teammate James is there first, and he just leaves Sanji to do all the work. Luckily, Sanji's good enough to do it. James he's just up and out of there. Doesn't care about it.
It's all about the utility here. Sanji getting around that smoke towards the site. They have a molly for short. They have some nades to help them out. Smoke to the bomb at the end there. Sanji was flashed in as well for the initial fight, which helps him. Big impact moment from him. And again, VP need more where that came from. 2 rounds now where individuals have stepped up for the VP side. And it puts Spirit down to a poor investment. Chopper's already down low with the Deagle. Beer, the only man with a primary weapon. He has the AK, but his teammate Chopper has already been taken out of the action. Not looking likely that Spirit will be able to win this one.
Oh, Jim, what a shot. Out onto Dexter. He's dropped back into the site now as well. Magix is being found by Kicker. This is the VP we've been wanting to see. All of the kills and life once again injected into their veins. I love this from VP. They're back on the server.
Aggressive angle from James. For a second, I thought it was a risky one. If he could have been run down by the Deegs, maybe the round could have opened up, but there were more players waiting behind him on the site. Buster had that AWP as well. James didn't even throw the molly in the end. Just took that first shot and backed away. Spirit are back to a buy of their own, though. Dexter getting that AWP out at the cost of regular Kevlar and no helmet in this round. Molly down early. Buster's got this AWP on B. Nade does a bit of damage, but if Buster were to peek, Dexter is waiting for him. And there it is. Dexter gets the initial kill. Now the rotate needs to come in, but Dexter gets 2 kills onto B. And that could be the round over before it's even really begun.
You gotta hope for some miracle here for Virtus.Pro to be able to turn this back. Losing 2 players this early is never a good sign, and they're going towards the B-bomb site. Sanji hasn't caught them on the timings at all. There has to be the Virtus.Pro save call. James holding for the long peak. Oh, he's missed those shots as well. Nothing going right for VP here. And that is going to be map point for Team Spirit. I was just saying how they're back in the game, Alex, and that happens. And that's Dexter, quiet as a mouse until this point. And then suddenly, he's a lion. Virtus.Pro, they will have weapons to play with going into the next round as long as they save every weapon here. Magix is going to try and prevent Jim from getting that AWP into the next one. Sanji is actually just sticking around. He knows how much damage they can do to the economy if he gets rid of a few of these players. If he could bring down that AWP, that would be huge. Oh, but Dexter is so ready. Ooh. So ready for that.
Well prepared on the hold. Magix, oh, he sneaks round. Down goes the AWP of James. And they're going to be able to rebuy it. They're going to be fine on the VP side, but they're going to be in a position here where they have to win 3 in a row. And this is big from Dexter, right? We talked about how he hasn't been showing up as much, but this is a moment where he comes through with the AWP, and it is mainly just the positioning that gets him that, right? You look at that round, it's the positioning more than anything that allows him to get those 2 kills. He's just holding angles on both of them, and now Spirit 1 round away from taking us to a 3rd.
Good holding with the rifle. Good peek, actually. Good flashbang from Sanji that allows that, and actually prevents the trade kill from Mir because he had doubled up with his teammate. Probably does walk away with a trade kill if the flash doesn't come in. So good utility usage, good team play for that opening for Virtus.Pro. It's all about winning this round and bringing down the economy. They're still in the game. They can still bring it to overtime. James getting aggressive. I like the risk play, but it doesn't work. Magix had the angle. James is taken out of the round. Man advantage given over to Team Spirit, or should I say, removed from Virtus.Pro, thanks to Team Spirit. They're going to flash Buster away. Dexter taking a wider angle now as he peers down into CT spawn. Kindle's just jiggle peeking for that information. That will allow his teammate to sit in mid for a little bit. He's in on that area because you can get that info quite quickly, and Kicker stuck around at short. Got a follow-up out of it for VP. And if Yukindo gets this info early, drops that molly, that's going to buy some time for rotations of his teammates to come in. And Team Spirit don't have a smoke they're willing to use to get onto the Molotov there. So they're just going to hang on to it and just slow the round down. With 27 seconds left, they've got to go eventually. They've got to come into this site. And Yukindor's dropped back and now has cover. He's also got a teammate up there with the window. Kicker, he's not been able to deliver anything, and neither is Yukindor. Buster at least gets something on the cross, but it's still a 2v3, and Team Spirit are delighted to be inside of the site. And now another kill. Magic's, the ball's just a hold for that, and the ball will come through, but not denied. The bomb plant can't come into the round. It's going to be 13 for Virtus.Pro. It's a good round from Kicker there to start things off, and just great holds overall, good team play, and good awareness of Yukindor how to play out that solo bomb site.
Yeah, they leave it so late in the round. Obviously, Kicker getting these early 2 kills makes a big difference, but Yukindor not able to get a kill initially on the hold, but just getting his teammates in position is enough. They come through with the kills late into the round. We're still going here. Team Spirit with another bye, but if they lose this one, they may not have the perfect bye into round 30. So this is likely Spirit's best chance to close it out in regulation. Looks like a slow one.
Yeah, it is going to be a slow round here from Team Spirit. Think about how this Dust 2 is played out. If we do have to go for that third, I am so excited to close it out there, because the fight that we've gotten from both sides on their respective map picks has just been incredible.
They're not baiting out any utility here, Spirit. They've done so little in this round. There's still a couple of incendiaries. There's still 3 left. There's still a smoke left on VP. That could make a massive difference here late in the round.
And now they're going to group up into short. Execute's about to commit, and they've only got 1 smoke left for Spirit. It's not exactly enough to make a comfortable Execute in, so they're going to go for a run boost, and that Molotov. There comes that utility. Starts to become a big issue. And they're going to run boost over the top. Magic's looking for the fight. Kicker down. And now Magic's continues to run forward. He needs more than that. And James finally getting involved this time. And no utility. Nice shot to stop the cross. Finally, the plant will start to come through. And that is much needed for Spirit. And the kills from Mir. He is doing so much. And Virtus.Pro are down and out thanks to Mir. He just gets every single kill towards the end. That is what they need. When they don't have the utility, when nothing is going their way, you have Mir who can get you a 4K.
Oh, Mir sends them packing at the end there, and it had to be the run boost entry for Magix as well, getting them into that position to begin with. James lands a couple of nice shots, but it's not going to matter in the grand scheme of things. Mir with a pop-off round to close it. We've seen him do that so many times for this team. He does it again when they need him most, and we're going to a third.
We are indeed. It's going to come up after the break. You don't want to miss it. We conclude this epic series between VP and Spirit over on Overpass. We'll be right back after the break.
Legendary teams, major players, and electrifying tactical action are back in CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. From June 27th till July 4th, 10 teams will clash in the thrilling showdown for the prize pool of $100,000 and slots at the PGL Major Stockholm 2021. Who will win more rounds? Who will show the most furious play? And who will claim the major prize? Find out at the CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. And don't forget to reload. Legendary teams, major players, and electrifying tactical action are back in CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. From June 27th till July 4th, 10 teams will clash in the thrilling showdown for the prize pool of $100,000 and slots at the PGL Major Stockholm 2021. Who will win more rounds? Who will show the most furious play? And who will claim the major prize? Find out at the CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. And don't forget to reload.
Welcome back to the StarLadder CIS RMR. We're here on the final map of the day, Hawker. We went the distance between Spirit and VP, just as we expected we would. It is going to be Overpass. We've just had Dust 2 play out. VP put up a good fight on Dust 2, so I'm hoping this third map is going to be a real barn burner between both teams. I really feel like this is going to be a close game on this final one.
On this map, I think it should be a fun one. I think both teams are pretty solid on Overpass, so I'm excited to see what both teams can do on this one. I'm struggling to see which team I favor, but I may even lean towards VP. I don't know why. I've just got a gut feeling that they're coming into today with better form individually compared to what we were seeing yesterday. It looks like they really want to bounce back here, but you can see the recent win percentages pretty close between the two. Spirit having a couple of decent wins there as of late, and well, we'll see if they can go ahead and take the series or if VP will bounce back here in Group B.
Yeah, we do see a 16-7 loss to Virtus.Pro over there in the Team Spirit results as well. And the teams they're beating aren't exactly the top level opposition, right? K23 twice and Tropic once. It's over here for, VP just always have these Overpass performances every now and then where they just are beasts, right? And I think Kinder on that B side can sometimes just be unstoppable. We've seen some of the best performances ever in his career on this B side, CT side. So just depends on the VP show up. And as you were saying, they're coming into this one a much better individual form than they have previously. So let's hope that VP can deliver a map win here for their sake, because Spirit have had a flawless start winning both of their games. VP desperately need a win in the RMR, and taking out the top dogs would certainly be a good step in the right direction.
Oh, let's see if they can do it. VP on the T side to begin with. Dexter spotting them out early, but Buster's got the P250 for the long-range fight. And that's VP getting off to a good start with an early kill. 4 players will be running up long. They even take that USP away from their opponents and are continuing to poke their head out and see if the A site looks open. But you can already see Spirit having a hefty rotation up to A.
And it's going to be utility out for VP, often heavy in the utility in the pistol, and you can see why. Want to create a wall of smokes to prevent vision from Team Spirit. Chopper's going to try and peek beyond it, but now he is back and without teammates. Sumda Young is going to go down as well to Buster, and that's a lightning fast headshot from the P250, and he wants in for another one. He's had 3 in the round. Why not take them all? As Buster peeks into blanket his next victim, Chopper, who has been chopped to pieces. Just mere remaining. It looks like Kicker will likely steal away the ace here, but I have to say, Buster with a beautiful start to this game, and if he can keep that up, it does become quite scary. Buster has actually been pretty good so far in this series. I've enjoyed watching him. Has some really good moments on Dust 2 as well. He's hunting down the ace. They're letting him try and find it. It's actually Jim who has spotted Mir now at the top of the ladder. They're running him down. Buster leads the charge, and Jim, he does not get the kill. Still on for the ace here, Buster, and he missed the shot. Mir denies it. No glory for the 5, but still the 4K that wins in the round, and somehow Mir, I don't know how, but he survives that. So he gets into the next one. It's just all over here. Buster with a P250.
A lot of long-range fights for him too, so had to be him to deliver the insta headshots. That third shot was the pick of the bunch as he moved out onto the A-bomb site. VP off to a good start here on Overpass. Spirit will get that buy back. As you pointed out, Mir got to save the Kevlar at the end there, so he will be able to buy a FAMAS, spending most of his money on that rifle. Pistols on the majority of the Team Spirit players, though, into this one. Overpass is a map where you can definitely go for slow-paced rounds. I expect we'll see that quite a lot from VP, where they'll take some map control and they'll continue to play across the map. Suits their play style because of that ability to slow things down, and because of, honestly, the need to slow things down quite a lot of the time. You've got to methodically take the map control, which is exactly what VP are doing early in this one.
taking damage. He's going to have to leave on 20 HP. Not the best start for Team Spirit's forced by attempt. But at least they keep the players alive. Semoga Young. Boltov is going through the wall, but not doing damage visually through the wall. 34 seconds left now for VP. I never really like it when teams run these lockdown in these kind of rounds. It does create a lot of chaos in the final moments, especially when you've got such a heavy rotation up here. From Team Spirit, it could really become nasty very quickly. Semoga Young has gone into bathroom. He's come out with an AK, and Sanji's quickly got that back, but Mir outside along is the next test for them. And luckily, they're passing most of these tests, and as they find Dexter, that will be the round. Bomb plant will come in from Virtus.Pro. They do leave it down late. They do receive some damage. But in the end, it is still looking good for VP. Magix is going to come up from the lower bomb site. He's yet to really get involved. I think VP are going to want to keep it that way. This guy's been pretty nuts over the past couple of days, in particular on this map. So as long as you can silence Magix and keep him out of play, you'll be very happy about that. VP going 2-0 up. Team Spirit's forced by not working out for them. And because they didn't really get anything saved over, they will just have one deagle here for Magix, even if he survives. But it looks like he's going to try and hunt them down. And he'll die to the bomb. So nothing will come out of the round for Team Spirit. It's absolutely nothing in the next round. So VP should be getting a third.
Yeah, a little close on the clock there, but all in all, it ends up being a fine round for Virtus.Pro as they get the later kills, making sure those trades are solid enough to go ahead and get themselves onto the site. And now it's just the USPs for Team Spirit. So you'd expect this to be a clean one for Virtus.Pro. See, they're aware of it. Sanji has himself the pistol. Trying to save as much money as possible ahead of this round. And I pointed out earlier, I find that VP like to go for a lot of B plays when they get their gun rounds out. It feels like they're really reliant on getting those B plays to be successful, and then once those start to struggle, they can struggle to find solutions on their T side. So that's something to watch out for once we get into the gun rounds, but for the time being, it's just this USP round to deal with.
You should melt this, no problem. Jim with the utility. Should be setting up the site perfectly. Starts to limit out the positions. No one really around here, so you can dot. It's all about making money now for him. Flank as they come through the smoke. It's one for Yukindar. Gets the lineup, and there it all is. 3-0 for Virtus.Pro. And lots of money there for Yukindar as well. For Team Spirit, they do get the buyout now. They'll get the AWP into the hands of Dexter. They will have the rest of the weapons around. I think an AUG purchased up just before we went to the replay there. We're going to get to see these 3 kills in Yukindar. It's always fun when you're on a Mac 10. You spot a couple of pistols coming around. It's very easy pickings for him. And of course, as they usually do, they throw the Mac 10 over to Sanji. And he's actually going to get a little bit of an upgrade. Well done. You got a FAMAS out of it, Sanji.
Boost up and quickly disassembled as James couldn't find the clear line of sight. There is that AWP on the CT side too in the hands of Dexter, but VP have loads of nades, so I would expect them to use their smokes early, maybe a molly to make sure that they don't go up against that AWP of Dexter over in the bathrooms. Yukindar oftentimes likes these fights on B short, likes to just go for the map control. VP will be slowly taking that control now, and a well-timed molly will force the Spirit side away.
Oh, they're really trying to make this work for the boost. I think if you go up again, you're tempting fate right there, because obviously VP are going to be aware of that. 45 seconds, here come Virtus.Pro. And a big part of their success is these entry kills. Yukindar usually in it short getting those. It's going to work in tandem with Kicker, who runs out through the flashbang. Oh, the second flash catches out Kicker. They're going to force the CTs back. There's no kills yet, and finally, it's actually Sanji who will start the round, and he goes forward for another one. The weakest weapon in play, and it's making the biggest impact.
You see why VP like those B plays so frequently on this map. They've got a couple of good flash lineups, and that makes it difficult for the CTs to react. Spirit there have to know exactly what they're doing. Are they putting some counter utility of their own out? Are they going to go ahead and just try and fight to the death and dodge the flashes initially? You've got to make sure you're on the same page, and Sanji able to close the distance with those flashes, not even needing the SMG to go fast. The FAMAS will do the job just fine. And Spirit will be hoping to hold on to these 3 guns, but Buster's close by. Good reaction shot from Dexter. That'll keep them safe. So with the 3 safe guns, Spirit should be able to salvage a buy together in this round. But a pretty slow start to the game here for them on Overpass.
Yeah, very slow indeed. And when you're getting cut apart by Sanji like this, man, you just gotta take it. Sanji dishing it out. Round 5 will begin here. Team Spirit, they're gonna have the AWP out for Dexter still by around 8. You know, it's still looking good when it comes to the economy department, but it's gotta be round win soon. Otherwise, this is getting out of hand. We've talked about, I think in this tournament especially, these early starts have really helped teams. Even when it gets close towards the end, the early start is enough of a round buffer to usually keep you ahead. So Team Spirit got to win this one. They get aggressive into water. And Sam Young's going to be holding for this connector walk-up. He has actually spotted the arm there of Sanji. So he's going to ready himself in bathrooms, calls that to his teammates, at least one in connector, and likely more.
Smoke lands right on him. He will go through, but there are players creeping up on his side. If VP pulls some nades out, that's where he's going to hear those. He hears the flashes, he hears the smoke, so SDY can call for assistance. They're not going to clear him initially. SDY with a couple of kills early. He's going back into the bathrooms and more delivered. Mir arrives on the rotate, and that is pretty much a perfect round for Team Spirit.
One you just cannot complain about. They needed it to come in. It was the aggression from Mira to water early that really was the first great step in the right direction. Once you take that part of the map, you've got so much to play with. But it's Samda Young who spots up the arm of Sanji early in top connector and decides he wants to use the cover of the bathrooms. And I think his positioning is just so perfect that... But here come VP again. They've got the buy. They've got Jim on the AWP, everybody on the AKs. It's not going to be easy for Team Spirit. You can celebrate that round a little bit later because here we go. Right into the next one.
Well, maybe it's back to the B site for VP. Wouldn't surprise me considering...
Oh.
Okay. Good kill from Mir. Onto Yakinda. Those are 2 aggressive riflers clashing early. Yeah, they try and go back to B early, but quite quickly denied.
You know what the cool thing about... Mir again gets boosted up. I was about to say, the cool thing about Overpass between VP and Team Spirit is Mir and Yakindar often meet each other because they both play the same position. When VP are going for a default and they take water control, Yakindar is often tasked with just taking water and then towards short, and that's where often we see Mir getting aggressive. So we're going to see those 2 riflers really battle it out, and that's going to be just raw aggression here in Overpass, battling for one of the most important parts of the map, and Mir has done enough to give his team a huge 2-man advantage at the start of round 6. VP are just going to try and salvage something out of this, but you've got to be perfect with every opportunity. That Molotov is actually really cool from Kicker. It tried to force the fight into Monster, but I just can't really get the opportunity there, so he's going to have to back away.
I think they're giving up on this one. Sanji will try and get away with the AWP. Flash could help him get away safely. No one that close by from Team Spirit, though, so he'll be fine. And I think this is the response we'll likely see from Team Spirit to stop some of these B plays. If VP are generally going to try and go for plays towards the B site, through Monster, through B short, the way to counter that is some aggression of your own. A bit of information early. Even if it's an even trade, it could give you the chance to rotate down in time. And the way they assembled that push was quite nice too. Yakinda tries to spam back, tries to go ahead and take that spam fight. Mir peeks in as he's spamming into the wood, catches him off guard, and then the boost catches Jame off guard. So two unsuspecting players, well played by Spirit to find some favorable fights. Got their second round on the board, but still a full buy for both teams here.
A little tip for you guys at home as well. What Magic's doing right now is he's actually using the ledge behind the barrels. It prevents you from making the full jump up. So you're not staying in the air that long, and you can make jump spots very easily. You can see here, great angle, thank you to the observers. But each jump spots keeps his head low, allows you to just get away with that really early without really having too much risk of getting headshotted when you're up in the air for too long. So it's a good note to have. Looks like some monster aggression might come in this time from Mir and Magix. At least they're stacked there right now. Showing a willingness to do that. They'll re-smoke it this time. And Kicker will be tasked with holding the opposite side of this smoke. It doesn't look like they're going to go with the smoke and try and phase it. Often teams will go for that double push into the smoke and let it start to fade away and then reveal themselves. But they've got another smoke and they just get re-smoking it. 30 seconds left.
Well, they're out of smokes now. Dexter still has a full set of utility, though. He's going to flash A long, and I wonder if he goes down to B. Indeed he does, but the bomb's coming back to A with little time left on the clock.
Oh, Semoga Young has got to make this work. In the corner with an AK-47, he's held them off for now. 9 seconds, VP again. They're going to lose out to the clock.
There's no time. Oh, dear. This is scary.
Oh my god, this is the worst! No! $450 in the bank for Yakinda. Oh, VP, someone get them a stopwatch.
Oh dear, oh dear. That's hard to take. Yeah, just leaving it so late. If you've got 10 more seconds, sure, you can run that play, but the margins are thin when you play like that. And, well, VP last second have decided, oh man, I guess we've got to force. We're just in such an awful spot with two of our players. And this force buy looks atrocious, in all honesty. You've got one AK for it, only a few nades in play. And they've lost the fight with the AK early. Mir gets kicked out of there. Will be recovered by Yakinda. He doesn't have Kevlar right now, though, so he'll give it over to his teammate. Jame will have a go with the rifle. This is a round where I kind of feel like VP aren't going to have a plan initially, because it took them so long to decide they were going to buy. They kind of just went for map control, but they were so slow that Spirit had already taken control against them. And now I feel like they're just having to come up with a plan on the fly.
I think that's going to be the story of this first half, to be honest, because Team Spirit are a team that loves to take map control, and VP are a team that loves to take map control late. So if you're going into areas where Spirit are going to be deep on the C2 side, it's going to take so long to clear out all of these corners, all of these positions. I think this could really counter VP throughout the rest of this first half. Jim is getting boosted up to try and peer in towards the B-bomb site. He hasn't found anything from the boost, and so they will dismount that and get the flash ready for the pop-out. And they really have to make this AK work for Jame. He's going to send his teammates in first, of course, just to let them try and create some space, and even Jame goes down the second time. This double-up setup really working out for Spirit. They're keeping it clean, they're keeping it tidy, and it's 4-4 as they tie up the scoreline. They don't lose a single player there.
I think if you're going to go for a contact play like that, or more of a play just relying on one or two flashes, you probably have to do it sooner in the round. Because that late on, Spirit have already got a good bit of info over towards A. They peeked in through the bathrooms in towards the top of Connector. They have 4 players stacked on B, and so at that point, someone is going to be playing anti-flash. That late in the round, if you've got the players stacked on the right side of the map, if you've got the info elsewhere, they'll be playing anti-flash, they'll be ready for your push. It was Dexter this time with the AWP, who was further back, who could just get that shot there. And VP don't even get close to the bomb site. 4-4, all tied up. And remember, that was the investment from Virtus.Pro. Now they have even less to work with. Pistols and just a single smoke.
I like this A aggression in from all of Team Spirit. You have Semoga peering down connected, but you also have the play in towards Party and Semoga dropping back. So it just really works out. I thought the Party player was going to have to come in to play there, but Chopper not even needed. And they've even got a player down long. Dexter starting to retreat now. They've got so much early success, but it's only really been Semoga that's needed to do anything in this one up against Pistols. And Chopper, oh, he's actually just on that. Gets back, and Buster took a while to peek. And because of that, Chopper looks back, gets his kill. And Jim now trying to hunt down the AK. He's rattled a couple of these shots into the back of Chopper, and now the kill confirmed. He'll get a gun out of it, and just as well he didn't go hunt it down. That HE would have landed right on top of his unarmored body. Jim is going to run over to the B-bomb site and try and get a plant, and he actually is going to be able to do that. There's no one here. If he runs quickly, he'll get a bomb plant. If not, then he might die.
Oh.
Yeah,
Player won't see it. Oh, he does, but he's got the bomb plant.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, that's a good win from James. We can't really expect much more to come out of this. I appreciate the attempt of him trying to get out, and he even goes for the fight. But yeah, bomb plant, good amount of money. Best case scenario there for James.
A bit more cash for him and his teammates. Maybe that will allow him to play a bit looser here, Dinko. He's going to have a bit more money. He might be able to have that up in a couple of rounds. If he buys one here, he'll still have some money in the bank.
Woohoo! James Rich.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, if I were James, I'd be thinking that way. Like, you look, Kickert's got 2.6k in the bank right now. He's going to buy a few more nades, but still, he'll have enough to probably drop you the AWP if you want it. So, if I were James, I'd take a risk this round. I know that James not often a risk taker, but times he'll go for some plays.
Yeah, every now and then he'll get a little feeling about wanting to go for an aggressive play. I think this is probably one of those rounds where you can attempt it because you've kind of been in the rough patch for the last while, and this could be a round if you win it. It could put you right back in contention in the first half. And Jim, he's going to try and get a boost to select some of these angles. It's a very slow playstyle Virtus.Pro run. It's all about limiting the risks. But the risk they always run into is running out of time. And that is a big risk. So they may avoid risks of losing early fights and losing these opportunities. But finally, Yekindar goes for one missed shot from Semoga. He hasn't often missed those shots. So Yekindar gets a little bit lucky there. But he does get his kill.
Ooh, nice flash, but Dexter able to fire off 2 shots. No one there really to help you, Kindar. Just the one flash being relied upon. They gift that kill straight back, and Magix has got aggressive towards B short. Again, low time left on the clock. Magix in a disrupting position. Could well get a kill early here. Nice headshot. Sanji able to trade, but that's a good bit of information for Spirit. They might start rotating down to B now. Oh, is the bomb coming back A? Surely not. Surely not.
Oh,
not
VP,
again.
Look at the time. Oh, this is going to be rough. Pick it up here. They might just be able to deny, but luckily Boss is in a good spot. But look, oh my god, he's gone down. Chopper could deny it just by stopping the plant. He goes forward and luckily Sanji is there to save the day. Oh my god, VP live life on the edge, and it might just be over the edge for them. Jim has to try and win out the 1v2. He's got Dexter low, Mir also low, but look at that. Dexter with the timing in behind. Jim did not have cover. Oh, VP. 19 seconds, and they send the bomb from connector back up to the A site.
It puts so much stress on every single fight. It makes it such a strenuous round. Yeah, every fight there, they have to win, you know. They lose that first one with the player who was already on A. Sanji had to hit the headshot, otherwise it was round over. He did so, but then you can't set up good post-plant positions when you have to commit so heavily like that to get yourself in that spot in the first place. Dexter peeking mid. Flash forces him away. I think Spirit are pretty happy to generally, give that ground to VP, because with how it's been going so far, it hasn't been too costly for them. You don't need to push everywhere across the map. You can just pick your spots. And right now, SDY is the man peeking into Monster. You got to bait out these nades. Some nades have been used early by Spirit this time. But they still have a good amount of utility on the Spirit side. Another smoke at the ready for Monster. Looks like the A play may be coming through, but Dexter himself has a full set of utility. If he spots a player out early, he may just look to drop that molly and slow them down.
It's so obvious that Team Spirit know just to hold their utility at this point. VP have been playing the slow playstyle. I hope they're getting paid by the hour. And now Buster burns away to Dexter. Molotov into long, just keeping it back, and VP with 20 seconds left. They've got to go again into the site. This time, again, it is Sanji. He's been making a difference so often for VP. Sanji is just unstoppable in these A-site fights. He will go down to Dexter. Oh, Dexter, okay. The Deagle has arrived to the party, and he pulls out the AWP to secure it. He's on for the ace right now. Magic's trying to stop down Kicker, and here goes the play. Flash up into the out. Kicker has to turn back. He knows that defuse can come through, and they just went off elimination. Mir steers away the ace from Dexter, but my God, Dexter, this is what we've been waiting for. Those shots are just pure filth.
So nicely done with the dig. He knew that Yakinda was up close, but he didn't know where Sanji was. Had to adjust onto the first headshot. Pre-strafes, pre-aims around the corner onto the second man, and then just gets his AWP out, waiting for the peak to come his way. And as you said, it was Sanji who tried to deliver that bit of impact, those kills that could have turned the round in favor of VP, but Dexter turns it right back against them. And we see a tactical timeout taken by VP. These slow rounds haven't been paying off for them right now. At least the bomb plant puts them in a position where they can go ahead and buy again.
Yeah, they can get a buyout at least. Some positive here for them. They got to win rounds, though. It's all well and good just buying up weapons and not really doing a whole lot with them. Man, you got to feel for Sanji. He gets so much done. He gets so much done every single time. It's not even enough when you got a player like Dexter on the other side of things. Semoga Young looking to fight connector at the beginning of this one. Sanji is in the right corner, and Semoga Young needs to be careful here. You don't want to commit to this angle too much in case there's two players down there, and with the X-ray off, you can see how it's a little bit of a scary situation for Semoga Young.
Oh, this is awful timing, but I think he's okay. He's just about got away safely. The players were stalking him in connector. See Sanji and Kicker now have that control, but SDY is back to a safer spot.
Good job turning off the X-ray as well, because it really shows you how that timing can play out. At just 1 second, you can see Semoga Young thinks it's clear, and then two players are right there as soon as he walks away.
I mean, again, look at the time, man, and there's still so many nades again for Spirit. Like, they got another smoke for Monster.
Use them, yeah.
I think the main thing is keeping those mollies and just molly the site with like 10 seconds left.
And we've seen every good team is doing this against VP right now, right? It's just how it is. If they're gonna play a slow play, well, I'm just gonna molly you. You're not gonna be able to do anything about it. It's a good deep Molotov from Semoga Young. Now they gotta go, but this time it's to the B side. And the smoke goes down, yeah. There's nothing they can do. It's just utility coming in, bombarding the T's, and there's a 4v4, and we've got 16 seconds left. Bomb being fumbles, it runs into short. Molotov comes in. In the last 10 seconds, there's a Molotov down. Oh, Virtus.Pro, just look at the time, and you gotta do something here. You gotta bait out that utility. You gotta fake them out, feint them a little bit. Don't make it so easy for Team Spirit just to hold on to everybody utility.
VP must be used to just the standard map control protocols they go for, getting out a lot of utility from the CTs. And normally that will be the case.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times teams will fight for the bathrooms, fight for be short, use some nades of their own to make aggressive plays. But Spirit don't need to do that in this specific matchup. And they know it because they've just been sitting back in all these rounds. Well-timed molly from Magix. Again, got to give Spirit credit for that, but it just feels way too obvious right now. If I can see it, then obviously Spirit can see it too.
You have a bit of a better view of it all, though, Hawk. I think you got all of it right in front of us. We're in the control center. Oh my God! You
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming either. Either just some die young. Your Kindar comes through the smoke, and a great opening for Virtus.Pro. That's more like it. Get your Kindar going. Get him fired up. Get some early kills.
With that man advantage, they will slow it down slightly, although Kicker is creeping out onto the B site. Chopper almost gets the timing window, but Jane was waiting the entire time. And Kicker's on B. That should be the round. This is the sort of play you need to make, a little information play. It is a bit risky to do this alone, but once you get an early kill elsewhere, it is going to open up the map for you. So your Kindar forcing that play makes a huge difference. Now, they've got to make sure they're ready for Magix, who's pushed on B short. But either way, the bomb should bypass him through Monster.
Yeah, he doesn't spot it happening. 33 seconds left. This time, utility is not there for Team Spirit to crush them in the final seconds, and VP will get there around. Yukindar is still getting kills, and Magix even tries to get over, but Yukindar, he's actually going to fall, and that bomb has not been planted. Buster is coming in on the wrap. BP, they should have had this a long time ago, but they're still fighting, and they might not have utility, but they've got guns to try and deny, and the time is ticking. Luckily, Kicker in the final seconds gets the headshot. They do get their round win, Hawker, but they like to make it difficult for themselves.
Yeah, it came pretty close, in all honesty. Like, Magix there has a real chance with that AK. Just kind of missed his shots, didn't line up the headshot as he would have wanted. If he gets that kill, then he's alive, and Dexter's peeking from heaven, and they could double team them. It could all go horribly wrong. But thankfully for VP, they win the fights at the right times. I'm hoping we get to see more of that early aggro from Yukindar. He got the all-important early kill in that previous round, put them in a good position to get their 5th round on the board earlier, or their 4th round earlier. Jame holding. No one's going to peek him. Smoke into the bathrooms. This is a little quicker than VP have been previously. They're using that utility. They should start to get up into the bathrooms. Normally, I think they're waiting till about 50 seconds to make that play, so I like that they're doing it a little sooner this time. Still not doing enough to bait out any CT utility, though.
Yeah, and this setup in long could get real Oh, Dexter's so quick. Maybe thought, okay, you have a chance if Dexter hits that shot, but don't expect him to get it that quickly. Great reactions.
And that, yeah, now SDY just pushes in long. After he hears that first kill, he's going to go in towards the long bathrooms. He's going to realize that A is likely clear. They should be pretty ready, but here we go. They're coming back, and he's got a freebie.
Oh, Jim just looking the wrong way.
And T-spawn.
Yeah, and there's 30 seconds left. They're about to run into bathrooms and try and get into the A site. Dexter's over here. No Molotov this time. In fact, they're going to molly him, and he's going to run through it right back into BankQ. Ballsy, man. 14 HP on him. And the attack from VP actually might just work out for them this time onto the A site. They're going to try and play retake. Yukindar's got a kill, so at least it will start to trickle down for Team Spirit. There's only a few seconds left as the bomb goes down. VP at least get that, but now they've got to get kills. Yukindar holding from Bank. It's one for him, but Magix quickly on the reply. And now you've really got to hope Sanju and Kicker can have an iron fist on this hold. It's one from Kicker, but they know where he is. Both remaining players are low, but it doesn't matter. Dexter had the AWP, he had the angle, and now the round as well. Team Spirit, I like the variations as well. It's not like they just have this linear approach or hold on to the utility, and that's the only way. You just dump it when VP arrive on the site with time. They also can fall fall back and go for retakes. It's not like they're just relying on getting enough kills to make it difficult and stop the bomb. They do that, but they also have chances where like Dexter falls back and uses them at advantage for the retake, and I think that's cool to see.
Yeah, because VP, when it's that late in the round, you basically have to just commit everyone to the site to keep the bomb planter safe. Otherwise, you could just lose the round if the bomb plant gets denied. And that just leaves you in bad post-plant positions like there, where you're having to play aggressively on the site, you're having to play in truck and in towards bank, and Spirit can just sit back and start to set up refrags on the retake attempt. You don't have the best post-plant position to work with. You can't play all the way back from the bathrooms, which is normally what you want to do. So well worked by Team Spirit to win this one. And now they have a double AWP setup. We could see this fast B play come back for Virtus.Pro, though. I said they like this B site. They're finally going back to it.
Oh, and the Molotov comes down into short. It's much quicker here for VP. An attack almost at the beginning of a round, but Magic's what? Just makes this AUG look like an AK. The little taps out under the head of Kicker, and he drops the bomb. He has a smoke as well. He can separate Monster off from the bomb recovery. Oh, and VP, they try a quicker round, but this one's been slowed. They gotta throw a smoke onto the bomb themselves and try and pick it up. Good kill from Chopper, just swinging. They now know they can just hold the bomb. And oh, Magic's another brilliant kill, and he finishes off that half in style. I had mentioned earlier that Magic's can step up on the defense on this map, and he's just showing how.
That initial kill was so nice. Stopped them early. Took the wind out of VP's sails, and then he's able to move around at the end there just to clean up the final pieces of the puzzle. 10-5 half, not in favor of VP. It's in favor of Spirit. It's about to switch round as they go onto their T side. VP could really do with this pistol. They've got 5 sets of Kevlar to try and do it. Chopper with a smoke and a couple of flashes, and VP playing a lot of players on A early. In fact, a lot of them going into connector. This could be a bloodbath.
Oh, Sanji, he's around the corner. Will they check him, or will it be Yakindar first? And now Sanji with a lot to do. He hasn't got anything out of it. Buster and Kicker getting the kills, though, and that doesn't really matter. Sanji at least gets one towards the end. But it's now just Dexter. 1 versus 4. Not the bit still Team Spirit we're looking for, and a really good round out of VP.
Even though Sanji doesn't get the kills, his teammates are so quick to come help him. Player pushing into B short. I think it was Kicker who came through to assist these 2 connector players. Just swings open the door, and then boom. You got 3 different angles to deal with. And that is never fun to try and handle. So, good start for VP. Exactly what they needed. Let's see if they can keep it going, because Spirit do have a buyback of their own. And honestly, that pistol round was kind of a non-starter for them. So, we're still yet to see what they can do on their T side. Fast connector play. Sanji's jump peeking, but he hasn't spotted them moving up connector so quickly. And I wonder if that's something that VP will completely overlook. Those connector players have gone all the way up towards bathrooms. Oh man, the player on long could get flanked right now. He has no clue.
No, he's looking the wrong way. Oh, you cannot. That is heartbreaking for him. When that happens, you do feel a little bit silly. You start asking questions to your team as well, and now they're going to try and check Mio. Oh, I thought he was going to get away with body shots there, but Sanji and Jim have got kills. It's the aggressive play from Jim at long, but he couldn't get back quick enough. And because of that, it is the scout of Dexter that comes around the corner. A 3 versus 3. With 50 seconds left, that bomb is starting to come over and join them at long. Up the connector, Buster comes, and he might walk into the bathrooms, and currently waiting for him there is Magic's with a deagle, but he's actually changed that position up just at the worst time. Look at this. Buster's about to find a bomb. He lets it walk past. Oh, Buster, this is the perfect timing. This is going to be everything in the round if he can pull off the multi-kill. It's 1 headshot. Oh, Buster luckily gets away with 1, but he fluffs his lines. And now with 20 seconds left, Sanji's close inside the site. It's an MP9 looking for kills alongside an M4. VP look to try and shut them down with a limited time. Little taste of their own medicine here, and some die young. Oh, the no-scope through the smoke! You think there's a chance there for Virtus.Pro, but madness, just straight up madness from Dexter.
If anyone ever tries to tell me that the FAMAS is good, I don't know. I never see it too well.
Slap them in the
I don't
face,
know
Hawker.
why.
Slap them in the face.
Oh, mate. I guess SDY did pretty well with it when he picked it up. He got a nice quick headshot, but Buster Buddy, you just need that instant kill. You just need that first one. Then you can spray to the body of the second player, and I think you're fine, but no instant kill this time. Spirit come through with it. It's painful, but it's a round win, and now it's Spirit trying to really make the most of it. Rushing into the B-bomb site. SDY just absolutely owning them with the MAC-10. Goes for more. Jumping kill again. It's round over.
It is indeed, and it's just that quick B-rush. It's really impactful from Team Spirit. They've even got utility for the late round as well. Smoke into heaven for the final few moments, so even Yekindar just hanging around hoping to pick somebody off isn't going to happen. I love that call from Team Spirit, and Sumda Young really delivers. That MAC-10 getting so much money. 12 rounds now for Team Spirit. They're 4 away from continue their flawless run here at the StarLadder RMR. This would be 3 for 3. They've dropped a map in every single one of their series, though. I think it's quite difficult to not drop a map at the moment. I think Gambit, even Gambit in their opening game did, but I think they're probably the closest, Los and Navi, to really not drop their maps, but everyone else
I mean, apparently it's easy to not drop a map if you're playing Akuma.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's the one consistent thing at here at the StarLadder RMR. Akuma just getting wrecked. But that often happens.
Spirit VP.
That often happens, though. You know, you have one breakout. It's hard to keep that consistent. They're gonna rush B again, though, and this might just work because there's not much in resistance at all here. Kicker just has a USP under pressure at barrels, and Sumda Young on the MAC-10 Mir as well. He's loving this. The MAC-10s up against the unarmored opponents. Easy money, easy kills, stacks of money. That's what everybody plays for, isn't it?
Can't complain. Spirit 13-6 locked in. And this specific matchup, we said earlier, has been one that Spirit have struggled with in the past. If you look at the recent results in this head-to-head matchup, the last time Spirit beat VP was all the way back in June 2020. Actually, almost a year ago to the day. It was on the 28th of June 2020 was the last time Spirit got the win. And then the 4 best of 3s they've played since have all gone the way of Virtus.Pro. So it has been a bit of a tough matchup for Spirit. Even when they've done well in the RMRs, they generally have tended to lose to this VP team. That looks like it's about to change, though. Spirit 13-6 up, about to get their revenge for those last 4 matchups, unless VP can pull something out of the hat right here, right now.
That is a really cool storyline, though, to think about. It's going to be Team Spirit who will have the best opportunity possible to get that win. Finally, over Virtus.Pro, who are coming into this round with... It's a desperate buy, you can tell. You've got the MP9 out on Sanji, FAMAS in the hands of Buster. The pro man has to play with that thing again. I would have flashbacks constantly. There's a 4-man stack from VP into the B site at the beginning. They think this is the way to go.
Ikendar's even playing connector rather than up on A itself. And normally you'd leave your AWP solo A in this sort of round where maybe he can get an early kill, holding long or holding the bathrooms, maybe even holding back on the A bomb site. But they're comfortable leaving their star rifler, Yekindar, alone on A. Now this aggression could be concerning. Chopper's holding, but he's not holding for the right angle. Oh no, Yekindar has to be careful here. He can't afford to go down and leave that A site vulnerable. So he'll fall back. And VP are still sticking with this B stack, and it still looks like it might be the right read.
You'd love to see this work out for Virtus.Pro. They need a miracle. They need a play to go their way. The stack going to be bomb site. Might just be it, but Team Spirit, they're changing it up now. The bomb is going back. They're going to pull a VP. Wow. They're going to try and go to the site with 30 seconds left. Yakindar's over here. Quick rotation coming up for Virtus.Pro as well. They've only got 1 HE left, so they don't have the utility. They've got to get these kills, but with 19 seconds now, there is a Molotov down into us long. It's all crumbling now for Team Spirit. They're going. They need the kills. They need the kills quickly. Sanji gets cleared out, and now it's Jim trying to deny the safe passage of the bomb, but they get up to the site. They get it planted, and they pull off a Virtus.Pro.
Oh, not even the first kill for Kicker. The massive Dexter deals with him. Amazing entry work from the Spirit side. Yakindar missing that first opportunity on short. He had to get that kill. It felt like he had that first kill in the bag, but they come through with the headshots on the Spirit side. Again, SDY having an amazing performance today with some of these early frags alongside his teammates coming into the site. They get all the important kills they needed. It's 14-6 Spirit, and oh boy, it's P90 time. They're adding insult to injury, Dinko.
Sundown with a P90 runs on by. Luckily, it goes down quickly without getting a single kill, so hopefully we won't be seeing that again. But this could actually work out for Virtus.Pro. Look at Buster's position. He's still at barrels. He haven't checked him. That's the bomb down through the smoke. Easy kill. And another one for Dexter Amir, though. Virtus.Pro still crumbling, still falling apart. And Buster under that check. He's got to do everything. And he's close to getting 1 kill on Chopper, but it's map and series point now for Team Spirit. It hasn't even been close on this map. I thought it was going to be a much closer affair. I thought this map was going to be the closest of the night, but anything but. We had 2 close first maps, and Overpass has been a blowout.
I mean, that round there just tells me Spirit are playing with pure confidence. You know, P90 running in, headshots on so many of these kills with the AKs. VP got a couple of kills early, but Spirit never faltered, and not another B rush. Not another B rush to close it. Okay, they've slowed it down. They know they're against the gun round, so they're going to give VP a little bit longer to assemble their hold. Oh! That'll do.
Buster, that'll do indeed. That's a huge opening. And now, you can walk away with that. Spirit just dished out a horrible opener to what was hoping to be their last round.
Jane pushed up. Still in a somewhat precarious position. There's a chance that if you go back through connector, you can find your way back to A, and it is wide open. That shot from Chopper also helps them out. 45 seconds remaining. Buster, ooh, not able to get the kill on that attempt, and the bomb is going back through spawn. Oh no, Jane could end the round right here.
Oh, he's got it. That's the kill, that's the bomb down. Dexter Amir, too far removed from this one. Started with the Buster collateral. Ends with a JM kill onto the bomb carrier. The bomb still lying here. No time to win the round, but Dexter is walking around trying to take a weapon out of the hands of JM and actually just missed him. He's just gone down the ladder. Dexter's gonna drop. Oh my god! Alright then, Dexter's nice little steal towards the end of the round. But look at this. That was just beautiful luck coming in for Buster. He'll not complain about that. I think he kind of deserves that after the FAMAS round, Alex. We'll give him that. Something, the universe is being nice to him now.
Pretty sick that they take one of those AWPs out at the end there, though, because now Buster doesn't get that AWP back into his hands, which is a shame for him after doing so much with it. 20-5 on Dexter, by the way. That is about as efficient of a performance as I could imagine. How has he only died 5 times?
That's pretty nuts. I mean, this is the performance we've all been waiting for. This is the Dexter we know. Well, here comes the attack in from Team Spirit. Sanji holds on alongside Buster. These initial kills are good for VP, and they continue to be. There's a kill from Dexter through the edge of the pillar at 21-5. He just keeps adding more to his collection, but this round is still difficult. You've still got to force that ult back of Jim. The Kindar's rifle then waits for you, and Buster's still alive as well. And so, utility definitely becomes a big factor here. And Buster looks for the fights and pulled the Deagle. That smoke only gets a kill what's elsewhere. That's Mio on a double kill. Suddenly it's over just like that. Steam Spirit out of nowhere has teal away the round. A huge 2v3 and they win the series, Hawker. Team Spirit are just on another level in this RMR right now. I don't see anybody in this group that's ever coming close to them. The individual skill is just at an all-time high.
The Mir and Dexter 1-2 punch at the end there. They get all the kills between them. Crazy what those guys can do. Mir was getting some great opening headshots all game long, all series long. Dexter showing up on overpass to a ridiculous extent. And I mean, VP running out of ideas, but at the same time, Spirit kind of forced them to run out of ideas at some points just with how well they were playing individually.
Yeah, it was just so fun to watch on that final map. Just for it wasn't the closest of games, but it's more so just the highlight plays he got out of the individuals. Here's a look back at our results. We started the day. I forgot about that game, Alex. It was so long ago. K23 with a 2-0 win over Entropic. A huge upset for them. And Virtus.Pro, it's hard to see them down now in 0 points at 2 games now played. It's hard, especially looking at the group. Like, VP should be up there in the top 2 spots, no problem, but they just aren't performing that well right now, Hawk. It's a nightmare for them.
The only upside for them is this group feels so open right now that I don't know if another team gets, you know, the 4 wins that would completely take them out of contention, right? There are a couple of teams on 1 win and 1 loss, but that's 100 Ping Gods and K23, who are the only other teams who could get to that 4-win, 1-loss section. And that means that if VP win all their games, they do have a decent chance still of getting in contention for those top 2 spots, which is what you're aiming for to make it to playoffs. Then the 3rd place team also go into that 5th place match where you can get RMR points, but really, it has to be at least top 3 for Virtus.Pro. And so far, it's not started strong for them, but they're showing some better signs here today. Even if that overpass wasn't great, at least they had some signs of life throughout this series.
We got to see the matchups that are coming tomorrow, Hawker. Plenty more action will continue. We'll see if Akuma can finally get themselves a win. It's going to be difficult against Namiga. They've had all the tough opposition so far. We'll really get to see if they are going to get 2-0 by everybody. It's not been the best start, unfortunately, for them. Hopefully, they can get a map win tomorrow. But we've got plenty of action coming up tomorrow. So 2 more best of 3s. We'll be back at the same time, 1600 hours CEST. We've got the wonderful Kiev in behind us. And there's no more matches. The A stream's done a long time ago, so why don't you go watch Ukraine versus Sweden in the football? Cheer on Kiev in behind us, and we're looking forward to seeing that one. We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks to everybody involved, and thanks to you at home. See you guys tomorrow.
Legendary teams, major players, and electrifying tactical action are back in CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. From June 27th till July 4th, 10 teams will clash in the thrilling showdown for the prize pool of $100,000 and slots at the PGL Major Stockholm 2021. Who will win more rounds? Who will show the most furious play?